to Hazleton area and Williamsport. So they come in with a 3-3 record. It will not be their last game if they are able to come up with a victory. If they do that, they will play in the District 2 Quad A final next week against Crestwood. Should Berwick upset them here tonight, then that district championship would be decided as Crestwood would take on someone else, either Valley View or North Pocono, depending on how things fall. Concluding his 32nd season as analyst for Berwick football on the radio, Andy Lichting. Andy, let's go back to the last time Berwick had a losing season, and that was the 2006 season. It was Gary Campbell's first year as head coach. They came into a similar situation like this. They were 3-6 going into the finale at home against a Hazleton area team that thought they were headed for the playoffs. Berwick had a great effort, upset Hazleton area. It didn't give a winning season, but it did give them a big boost into the postseason. That's the biggest wish for Berwick here tonight.
Yeah, I think it would be a significant win, Jim. You had a tough season. Everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong and more. It's been a nightmare in that regard. Talking to Carm DiFrancesco down the bottom, and he takes losing very, very hard. He puts it on himself. And I'm thinking, you've done a marvelous job of coaching, moving the pieces as much as he has, play calling and everything. And even the losses, have been relatively tight games till last week. And I said, you've also played programs that are having the team of the decade. You're seeing the team of the decade for themselves in the Comets of Crestwood. You're seeing it in Lake Lehman. I think Williamsport this year is particularly strong, and Hazleton's had their best team in a long time.
To your point, Andy, the 4 teams that have defeated Berwick this season have a combined record of 27-3.
So I suppose if you're going to, go with best against best, and if they take it to you and beat you by a touchdown, this time, these programs are at their best. Even if nothing went wrong for Berwick, it was hard to predict. Although Berwick had such nice superstar talent that you wish you could have seen a whole season out of Blaine Cleaver and what he could do. I can't mention all the names again. You just mentioned them. But it's been tough. I mean, how many times are you down to your 4th punter in a game? I didn't know Peyton Williams was the 3rd punter until we realized he's punting in this ahead of Matt Lonzinski. So it's crazy, and yet I feel optimistic because of the attitude and the effort that I've seen from Berwick's understudies throughout the year. People being moved out of position to new positions because you're forced to, and the effort they've given and the quick pickup of things, and, the young sophomores playing so well. I feel good about this game. Dallas is coming off of a drubbing from Williamsport. Will they go into a tailspin or not? It's hard to say. I want to see the first quarter of this game and see where it's sort of falling with attitude, because I think Berwick is really, perched and ready to pounce and do their best. You have guys coming back, seniors who missed the last month because of suspension, who want to dominate and do things. I think people want to prove themselves. I think Berwick wants to put itself in that position for next year, like you said. I have a good feeling.
Getting back to that 2006 scenario, there are some stark differences. One is it was Berwick's 10th game of the season, not their 6th. The other thing is they were relatively healthy going into that game, which they are not. You mentioned the players back from suspension. They are Mason Lawbaugh and Peyton Williams. Bulldogs have been without them the last 2 games. They were ejected from the game at Williamsport. That will help. But, boy, there's the problem Berwick will have coming into this game is how do you score points? I mean, I mentioned earlier, 2 leading rushers not playing, a starting quarterback not playing, leading receiver not playing. That's a lot to lose.
It is a lot to lose, but as I said, coaching and game planning and matchups, Carm DiFrancesco feels they have some pretty good matchups, especially at the line of scrimmage where they are healthy. Now, who's going to do it? Blake Maurer carrying behind the new fullback. Maybe we'll see that look, and maybe you can establish ball control inside. Let Lonzinski, who's a good passer, buy himself time with play action. I think that's going to be the game plan. How it works out, we'll see. We'll see.
Rich Vanello is the head coach of the Mountaineers of Dallas. We'll hear from him coming up next. Andy will be by later with the keys to tonight's game. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLN.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative E.P. Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Are you looking to meet an elder care need? Do you or a loved one need assistance with any of the instrumental or basic activities of daily living? Brookdale Senior Living has a solution. Brookdale Bloomsburg, located at 420 Schaefer Road, is a premium personal care home offering a family atmosphere along with round-the-clock nursing care. Call 570-387-6868 to learn more. Better yet, we invite you to drop in and meet the Brookdale family and learn how we can offer an optimum aging experience for you or a loved one.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to offer the Air Scrubber by Aris. It reduces exposure to common bacteria and viruses and their health effects. Air Scrubbers don't just treat the air, they also help to clean the surfaces of your home, such as countertops, bathrooms, kitchens, and doorknobs. The Air Scrubber is quick and easy, designed to fit into your existing HVAC system. Learn more by calling 1-888-KOWALSKI or on the web at sjkowalski.com.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Season finale for the Bulldogs here at Crispin Field tonight. Temperature's chilly right now. They'll be cold by the end of tonight. Temperature's supposed to reach into the 20s by the time we get late into the fourth quarter of this one as the Bulldogs go against the Mountaineers of Dallas, the 24th meeting between these two schools. Berwick leads the series 16-7, but Dallas has won 3 straight, including 22-12 last season in the Back Mountain. Well, former Kings College head coach Rich Vanello is now in his 6th season as the head man at Dallas. His Mountaineers made it to the state finals last season. They bring a 3-3 record in tonight's game, but Vanello is just happy that his team has had a season.
Well, the fact that we're able to play has been a home run. You know, it's everybody knows that all across the United States, any high school football games that are going on every Friday night, it's a win for everybody. As we were talking about earlier, you know, when we got shut down, you know, a few hours before kickoff of our first game, I mean, the look on the face of our guys was just. It was the first time in my career I didn't know what to say to them. And they had worked so hard, and they had been tremendous all summer, you know, with the zigging and zagging every day and doing everything they had to do, you know, to just to practice every day. And so to be able to play 6 games at this point has been tremendous. And our goal is to get better every single day, and that's what we're going to strive to do this afternoon.
You have a lot of kids filling big shoes after the great team you had a year ago, including at quarterback where Michael Starbuck was so good for so long for you. How has R.J. Wren done at that position?
Yeah, that senior class, that this group that we have right now, and you know, R.J. he's the leader there. He's one of the captains. He ran away. You know, we have tri-captains, but I've never seen a lopsided vote for the number of votes that RJ got, which just speaks loudly for the type of young man that he is. And I told that senior class, the one that we have now, they stepped out of the shadow of last year's group. And that was a big shadow, Jim. And these guys, through all the adversity that everybody in the United States has dealt with, these kids in their own way dealt with it every day. And they put the team on their back. And we haven't had to adjust a single time in a drill or practices. They just held it all together, and we put everything on their back. And they've reacted the right way. They've been tremendous, and it's because of him. And he and Ben Fife and Tyler Dzinski, those are the three captains, and they have just been awesome.
Well, this Berwick team is not having the season they'd like to have, but it is Berwick and it is Crespin Field. What are your concerns with them?
It's no different than we don't look at records, or never have, never will. You start playing that game and you get your butt whooped. It has nothing to do with it. It's a Berwick football program. Turn on 30 seconds of film and tell me that they don't have guys. All right, so that's not the case. They are big, they are strong, they are fast. That is a Berwick football team, and we are preparing no different than any other year. So the record thing means nothing. It's we've got to go down into a daunting environment with some guys that have never been there and never played in that type of environment. And we can control only what we can control here at Dallas, and that's what type of lift are we going to have tonight and what type of practice are we going to have. But our preparation and our focus does not change. It's Berwick football, period.
Dallas coach Rich Vanello, as we talked to him on Monday afternoon. He's in his 6th season as the head man of the Mountaineers. His career mark is 44-24. Took over at Dallas after 19 years as the head coach at King's College. Stepped down after the 2009 season. Last year was their big year as they went undefeated to the state final before losing to Thomas Jefferson in the Quad A championship game at Hershey Park Stadium. His Mountaineers come in with a 3-3 record. If they win tonight, they will be in the District 2 Quad A championship game next week against Crestwood, a Crestwood team that is unbeaten going into their game tomorrow afternoon against Lake Lehman. In fact, both those teams are unbeaten. That should be a great way for both of them to get ready for the postseason playoffs. But tonight here at Crespin Field, it's Dallas against Berwick. We'll check Rich Vanello's starting lineup offensively when we return. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
Berwick Notary Center, 1544 Orange Street, State Route 93, has been serving the Berwick community for over 50 years with the highest quality service as well as the lowest prices available. They offer services for driver's licenses, instant camera cards, registration renewals, boat, ATV, and snowmobile transfers. And they are messenger and agent approved. Open Monday through Friday, 9 till 5, and Saturday, 9 till 1. Check out their Facebook page or email them directly at berwicknotary@yahoo.com. Berwick Notary proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs. Go Dogs!
Every step of the way, First Columbia Bank. Any questions, ask them. Let's dream and make it happen. Time to feel the way a friend can make your day. For the big decisions, every step of the way. Your hometown bank, the first place to go for your big time plans. Together we'll grow every step of the way. First Columbia Bank.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
Whether it's the heat of the preseason or the heart of the postseason, teams will always get a little boost from playing at home. Speaking of a boost at home, State Farm can boost your savings when you combine your homeowner's insurance with your auto coverage. So score one for the home team. Talk to State Farm agents Lori Powell or Sean Black in Berwick, or Melissa Price in Nescapec about big savings for combining home and car coverage. Give State Farm agents Melissa Price, Sean Black, or Lori Powell a call today.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Finale to this strange 2020 season for the Bulldogs tonight in Crespin Field as they take on the Mountaineers of Dallas. Here's the starting lineup for Dallas. At the tight end, they'll start with number 88, Zach Chamberlain. He is a 6'1", 170-pound senior, 3 receptions on the season for 65 yards and 1 touchdown. It's a young offensive line. They've replaced all their starters from a year ago. 3 sophomores in that group, and they've experienced some growing pains. They've struggled throughout this season, particularly last week at Williamsport. The left tackle is Colby Kleintob. He wears number 59. He's 5'11", 220 pounds, a sophomore. James Lahane starts at left guard. He is a junior, 6'4", 280 pounds. Lucas Schultz is starting center. He wears number 56, 6'1", 205 pounds, sophomore. The right guard is the only senior in the group, number 57, Chase Hector, 5'10", 210 pounds. The right tackle, another sophomore, number 54, Aiden Fennell, 6 foot, 180 pounds, sophomore. The leading receiver on this team was not a starter a year ago, but certainly saw a lot of action. Number 22, Ben Fife, 5'7", 180 pounds, senior, 23 receptions on the season for 529 yards and 5 touchdowns. Bulldogs struggled against the long pass last week against Crestwood, and they'll have to be aware of Ben Fife. He is averaging 23 yards a reception. The quarterback, and the only returning starter from a year ago, didn't start at quarterback, but started in the secondary for that state championship finalist team, R.J. Wren. He wears number 2. He's 5'10", 175 pounds, a senior. He's completed 56% of his passes for 758 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's carried the ball 35 times for 94 yards. The leading rusher on this team is a junior, Rocco Armando, 5'8", 160 pounds. He's averaging 6.8 yards a carry, 57 attempts, 389 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He's also caught 3 passes. At fullback, we'll see either number 32, Tyler Dasinski, a 5'9", 180 pound senior, or number 5, Nick Biaschi, a 5'9", 170 pound senior. At the flanker spot, number 9, Matt Lukasavage, 5'8", 160 pounds, a senior, 6 catches on the season for 99 yards and 1 touchdown. We'll also see number 18, Gavin Sipnewski, 5'10", 150 pounds, a senior. Those are the starters offensively for the Mountaineers under Rich Vanello in his 6th season as head coach. They averaged 21 points a game. Not much in the rushing department compared to past years. 113 a game, 138 passing, 251 total yards per game for the Mountaineers. For Berwick, their offensive line will start with the left tackle, Nate Schraw, who's 5'10", 190 pounds, a senior. The left guard will be number 61, Ethan Hughes, 6'3", 295 pounds, a senior. Jake Lanning, number 65, starts at the center. He is 6'2", 215, a senior. He started the season at center, then missed a couple of games with injury. When he came back, they moved him to left tackle and moved sophomore Bruce Hartman, a great prospect, to the center position. But Hartman is out with an injury that he suffered last week against Crestwood, and he is not in that starting lineup, not in uniform tonight. The right guard is number 77, Jordan Young, 6'1", 240 pounds, a senior. And the right tackle is number 70, Xander Unger. He's 6'3", 250, a junior. One player who was hurt and not able to go last week is a junior, number 54, Andrew Blockis, 5'11", 220 pounds. We're likely to see him either in the offensive line or the defensive line before this game is out. Returning after a suspension, number 19, Peyton Williams, will be at a wide receiver spot. He wears number 19. He's 6'1", 185 pounds, a senior. 2 catches on the season for 21 yards. Another wide receiver is number 20, Braden Boone, 5'8", 150 pound junior. 8 catches for 95 yards. He was very good against Crestwood last week. Had a couple of catches and good yardage after the catch. The quarterback making his starting debut, number 12, Matt Lunzinski. His first year at Berwick, a transfer from Hazleton, 6'1", 205 pound sophomore. Has thrown only 3 passes this season. He's 1 for 3 for 3 yards. He's rushed 2 times for 7 yards. But it's his game tonight, and he's got to be excited about this starting role for him this evening. At the running back, number 5, Blake Maurer, 5'8", 170 pound senior. 20 carries on the season for 97 yards and a touchdown. The fullback, well, we'll see a couple of people, but notably, one person we haven't seen at that position is Tristan English. He's 5'8", 170 pounds, a sophomore. We'll see him getting the start on the defensive side, and he may start if they start with a fullback on their first possession in this game. At a flanker spot, we're going to see a couple of people. Number 2, Devin Smith, 5'8", 150-pound senior, 7 carries on the season for 41 yards, also a couple of catches for 18 yards. And we'll also see a player that has no catches yet, but they like his potential, just a sophomore, Rowan Slavinsky. He wears number 26. He is 6'2", 165 pounds. That is the starting lineup. Offensively, for the Bulldogs of Berwick under Carmen DiFrancesco in his second season here at Berwick, his 24th as the head coach. Bulldogs come in 1-4. They're averaging 18 points a game. Good rushing team, 184 yards rushing a game, just 71 yards passing, 255.2 total yards, which is a little better than Dallas has done this season. Bulldogs about to make their way on the near side of the field. You'll hear the fireworks going off as they make their way out of the George Curry Fieldhouse. Across the way and to our right, keys to tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
The keys for Berwick defensively, I think what they need to do is, work themselves. They're strengthened in some ways. They're weakened in others defensively. They lost key players last week. Now, they lost key players all through the season, but during last week's game, we saw Benny Knorr, the quarterback, go out, but he also is an outstanding outside linebacker. Don't miss him. Sean Sheptock, who played some outside linebacker, had been forced to play safety. He gave them a nice experienced and a nice mentoring role back there. He could make up for mistakes with his speed. He's out. You also lost Bruce Hartman, one of the guys who stepped up, the sophomore who played defensive end, and you lost him. Now, coming in, you have these 2 seniors who had been out over the last month, 2-game suspension and COVID, spread it out. Mason Lombaugh comes back in, and he's capable of dominating. He can be a wrecking ball in there. He can come in with that passion and really break things up if he's at his best, but he hasn't played in a month. The other big help is Peyton Williams coming back. Peyton would normally play inside linebacker, but they developed in there and they lost the safety in Sean Sheptock. So they're going to put him back there. He played very well in the secondary last year. If you recall, he was a corner, but you move him to safety. Again, let him be that sort of, veteran leader in that secondary. Use his height, use his speed, have him take care of the corners and help out. Now, you're still down a little bit, but young players have improved over the course of the year. Things have gotten better for them, and that's where we are. Jim, I think we're getting ready for the national anthem, so I think we'll finish these keys up in a little bit.
Berwick against Dallas, back with the rest of the keys and the kickoff to tonight's game. You're listening to Berwick Football and Sports Radio, HLM.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
Surprise that special someone with jewelry from J. Lilo Jewelers in downtown Bloomsburg. Lilo's is a full-service jewelry store offering one of the area's largest selections of diamonds, wedding bands, watches, sterling silver, and gold jewelry. Lilo's repairs jewelry and watches on site. You may also find that one-of-a-kind piece in the popular estate section. Come in and see Jeff for that special gift for that special someone for any occasion at J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street, Bloomsburg. J. Lilo Jewelers wishes all athletes success this season.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Season finale for the Bulldogs here tonight at Crispin Field as they take on the Mountaineers of Dallas. Continue with the keys to tonight's game. Andy, well,
defensively is what we were talking, Jim, and a lot of the young players are now much more experienced after playing what is basically the full season outside of this game. And a lot of young players have bumped from old positions to new positions. They've become experienced players there as well. Take a guy like Tajee Taylor at linebacker. He started at defensive end. He's become outstanding. Hunter Modal has impressed me in the last few games. Last week in particular, even with illness, he was just making hit after hit after hit. Spencer Tishbaugh, I was looking at the players. I didn't realize the size of him. He was down there without his helmet. He wears that 14. I'm thinking, who is this player? I wasn't thinking defensive end. He's a physical specimen, and he's shown it on the field. He's become a monster out there. Added Ryan Hunter-Menendez, added Rowan Slabinski, added Tristan English to this crew that's gotten experience, and it's a good, solid defense. I think they can stop Dallas. Dallas can be predictable. It doesn't run that many plays, but when it does run, it usually runs very well. Doesn't quite have the talent it had last year, that's for sure, but they have a very good quarterback in R.J. Wren. Yeah, he's going to control things, and Burrow's going to have to try to control him. He can throw very, very well. He has an excellent receiver in Ben Fife, as you mentioned, 529 yards, and they run the ball well with Brock and Armando. Changing around, I think this new look offense that they have, and it's a lot of new people in order, including at quarterback. They're going to want to establish the middle with a fullback-oriented running game. And I think if they can get that going, they'll do some play-action passing as well. We're ready to kick this one off, Jim, and I'm excited for football.
Dallas will receive, moving from our right to our left. Brendan Hinkle's kickoff is high and short, peeled at the 15-yard line by Ben Fife. Fife breaks a tackle to the 25, the 30, the 35, and Ben Fife is over the 40-yard line. Good return by the senior.
Yeah, pulled down by Tristan English, who's the starting linebacker on this team, but it was a fine return up the Dallas sideline.
Berwick defensively across the front with Mason Lawbaugh, Brian Knorr, Ethan Hughes, Spencer Tishbaugh. The weak safety, Ryan Mendez Tejada. Hunter Model is the strong safety. Linebackers, Tajee Taylor and Tristan English. The corners, Devin Smith and Rowan Slabinski. Peyton Williams is the free safety. First play from scrimmage. Armando gets the call, breaks in the secondary, and then he's cut down about the 46-yard line.
Too much on the inside, able to split the Berwick front four and get to that linebacker area very, very quickly before he was pulled down.
5 yards on the carry to the 47-yard line. Second down and 5 for the Mountaineers.
Again, this team doesn't try to trick you. They come at you with the basic plays, but they coach the positions well, and they make the plays work.
Second down and 5, the I formation. Again, Armando gets the call. Off the left side, Tajee Taylor makes the stop right about the line of scrimmage. Taylor is 6'3", 215-pound junior. Number one tackler on the team with 46. 6 tackles for loss. That time, they give him a yard to the 48, third down and 4.
Great size and great speed, but it was a great instinct Jim he had to left. He stands tall at linebacker off the ball. He immediately saw it going to the tailback. He wanted to run it right over the outside shoulder to tackle, and he met the man at the line of scrimmage.
Wren out of the gun for the first time on third down and 4. He's going to carry it himself as he sweeps the right side. Mason Lawbaugh in pursuit. He's brought down very, very close to the first down yardage over midfield.
Good spot, and they'll still be short. It looks like they're going to give him a little bit more. They're moving the chains. Lawbaugh almost had him in the backfield. He had to change direction, chase him outside. And then another man, the corner came up, had a little contain, turned him back into Mason Lawbaugh, but he couldn't pull him backwards enough, at least by the spot he was given.
First and 10, Dallas at the Berwick 48-yard line. Wide receiver to either side. Wren under center. Gives the ball to Armando. He's got some running room. Good first down carry to the Berwick 45, maybe the 44-yard line. You know, the play, we didn't give him to you in their starting lineup, but he is in there for Berwick, is Gavin Cunningham, 6 foot, 220-pound junior. The gain was 4 to the 44, second down and 6.
Spencer Kishbaugh had him by the ankle but couldn't bring him down. And then Peyton Williams, who's at safety, free safety in this game, came up hard and put a good lick on him. One of those punishing hits.
Fife is wide to the right side. Also a receiver to the left. The give is to the fullback. Gashi straight ahead. He carries a tackler for a couple. Berwick got good penetration, but he was able to pull ahead for a couple to the 42, maybe the 41-yard line.
We watched Nicholas Gashi in the warm-ups, and we're surprised to see him. He's not on the 2 deep. On the season, only 1 carry for -1 yard. So there, with that gain, he certainly improves his totals.
Ethan Hughes checks into the defensive front for Berwick, replacing Spencer Kishbaugh as Dallas faces a 3rd down and 3 from the Berwick 41. Wren will keep it himself, tries the left side. He will not get the first down yardage. Brought down at the 39-yard line.
Real nice play in there, Jimmy, by number 61, Ethan Hughes, who just did enter the game. They wanted someone with a little more size to take on left tackle or left guard James Lehane. Lehane goes 6'4", 280, and Hughes is a better matchup. We'll see a 4th down play from scrimmage, and it's a yard, a little short of a yard. Stoppage, timeout, Dallas.
8:25 to go. Opening quarter, no score. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLN.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Dallas Mountaineers marching off the opening kickoff. They have reached the Berwick 39-yard line. They called a timeout to talk about a 4th down and 1. As they move from our right to our left here in the opening quarter.
Berwick's big on the inside with Brian Nord, 275. We see Ethan Hughes in there. He made the stop against the big man. They're going to squeeze it in tight.
I formation. Quarterback keeper by Wren gets a nice push from that offensive line. They're still pushing. He'll get the first down and then some near the 35-yard line.
Yes, he will, Jimmy. The quarterback sneak is a great play. You often see big guys stacked in there defensively, but the center and the quarterback know the cadence. They're going to be off and they're going to be low. They're going to get that movement before the defense in any way can react to the movement. And if you have it timed well and you have experienced people and you run it well and you stay low, the quarterback sneak is very tough to stop on 4th and 1, no matter who's in that defense on the inside.
1st and 10 for the Mountaineers. They have the ball at the Berwick 36-yard line. Nick Gashi is the fullback ahead of Armando in the eye. Wren under center. Play action. Rolls left. Looking to throw. Man pursuit. Passes incomplete. Out of bounds. Gashi caught it, but he was well out of bounds. Ryan Mendez Tejada on the coverage.
They wanted to go to, I believe it was Fife on the backside, running a post and crossing the field toward the quarterback who was running, scrambling to his left, actually played inside, bootleg to his left. He saw he couldn't get it there. The coverage was too tight deep downfield. He saw Gashi. It was good coverage. He tried to get it outside the man. Gashi pulls it in one-handed, but out of bounds, as you said.
2nd and 10 from the 36, 9th play of the drive. Armando gets the call up the middle, not much doing. Berwick is right there. He will be brought down at the line of scrimmage.
No, real nice tackle by Brian Nord. Jim, we've seen him in there. He's big, 6'3". He's listed at 275. We saw him walking in, asked about brother Benny, who's injured. I said, what do you weigh on these days? I'm a little closer to 290. He's physical in there. He caught him by one arm and drove him back.
Also in on that play was Andrew Blockus, who's on that defensive front now. So it is a 3rd down and 10, Dallas. First time they've been in a 3rd and long situation. Slot to the right I formation. Wren under center. He rolls right to throw. Gets the pass away and has a man, Ben Fife, and he's got the first down inside the 25 to the 24. R.J. Wren to his favorite target, Ben Fife, and they convert on a 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, he rolled his way. It's the wide side of the field. Berwick in his zone and kind of got caught in between. Smith trying to cover both a man in front and a man behind, and not much you can do when they execute and hit those areas in the zone well.
11 yards on the reception by Ben Fife, who now splits wide to the left. 1st and 10, Dallas at the Berwick 25-yard line. R.J. Wren under center, gives the ball to Armando. He's hit behind the line. Tristan English, first one there, coming from his linebacker spot, and they'll lose yardage back to the 28.
Real nice play by Tristan English. I mentioned how much he's developed over the course of the year, Jim. I'm not sure if it is designed that he was firing or if he just saw it, shot through the lane that quickly. But he saw the opening, worked his way from the linebacker spot through the guard tackle gap, caught the man in the backfield in a wonderful defensive play.
2nd down and 13 for Dallas. The ball at the Berwick 28-yard line. Time-consuming drive by the Mountaineers off the opening kickoff. Wren under center. Play action, back to throw. Gets the pass away. Long downfield, incomplete. Good coverage back there in the Berwick secondary as the pass inside the 5-yard line.
Safety Peyton Williams came over, but the corner had him covered rather well. He won't turn enough to let me see that uniform number. It might have been Brandon Boone, Jim. Might be 20 in there, but
Braden Boone it is.
Braden Boone.
3rd down and 13. Now, Dallas has had some big conversions on this drive, including a 3rd and 10. But now it's 3rd down and 13.
Defensive ends have to contain this quarterback, not let him out of the pocket.
Fife is in a slot to the right. Wren is back to throw. He's looking to Fife over the middle. The pass is picked off at the 15-yard line. Peyton Williams on the return to the 25-yard line. The pass sailed over Fife. Peyton Williams with the pickoff. Just the 2nd interception of the season for the Bulldogs.
Peyton Williams inserted a free safety in this game, Jim, after not playing for the last month, but Sheptock being injured brings him on in. He was backpedaling, read the pass over the middle well. I didn't see it as clearly as he did. I thought it went through his hands as defender. But he stepped in front, took it away, returned it well. The ball went to the ground and fumbled away, but ruled dead on the tackle.
First snap of the game for Berwick. It will come from the 25-yard line of the Bulldogs. Lonzinski out of the gun, rolls right to throw, fires over the middle, has a man, a completion over the 30, out to the 32-yard line. It's Peyton Williams on the catch.
Got the last one defensively, let him release from right tight end on a real quick out pattern. He broke away from the line of scrimmage, went about 5 yards, broke it out, caught it, fell forward. They'll give him 8 on that.
2nd down and 2. Isaac Tripp is in the Berwick offense. He's in the slot to the right. Braden Boone outside of him. Rowan Slabinski's wide to the left. Lozinski again out of the shotgun. Has the snap, gives the ball to Blake Maurer, sweeps the right side, and is cut down, but has the first down over the 35, out to the 37. Dallas defensively, Frank Atherholt, John Shearer, Colby Kleintop, and Caden Skasko, the front four. Linebackers, A.J. Fife, Tyler Dazinski, Nick Gashi. Corners, Rocco Armando, and Ben Fife, the safeties. Matt Lukasavage and R.J. Wren.
I like the philosophy of letting Matt Lonzinski pass, a nice safe pass on the very first play he's touching the ball, and then Blake Maurer, the short yardage first down on a little sweep.
Now Lonzinski under center for the first time as the call goes straight ahead over the 40, out to the 41-yard lines. Berwick was pretty good first down carry by Blake Maurer.
Yes, it was, and this is the game plan. They want to try to overpower this smallish front four, get into the linebacker area, and maybe have the fullback take that block and see what Blake Maurer can do. So, yes, for establishing the 1st and 10, this is the game plan they're planning on. Gave a different look to open in the first series. Now we're seeing what they want to do.
2nd and 6. Maurer gets the call again. Dallas with good penetration, but he moves it ahead to about the 44-yard line. Good second effort by Blake Maurer.
A freshman made the tackle, Jim. A.J. 5, just a 9th grader, just 160 pounds, but a tough kid. Maurer still struck that for about 3, pushing 4 yards, so a short 3 here. You'll still take that one offensively.
Spencer Kishbaugh checks in. Mason Lawbaugh checks into that offense. Perhaps for blocking purposes on a 3rd down and 3, as Wanzinski will operate under center, as Lawbaugh and Tristan English as blocking backs to the left. 3rd and 3 call. Maurer gets the call, tries to follow those blockers and goes nowhere. Dallas is all over the play. They'll lose the yard back to the 43. Hunt team will come on.
Left side of the line didn't get into their men and get the push they needed. So when those 2 blocking backs stacked behind them try to go forward, they were met pretty much at a standstill. So while Berwick wanted to go power, Dallas reading it and stuffing it.
Now Berwick with their 3rd punter of the season. First 2 are out. Peyton Williams will try it from the 30-yard line, and he gets the kick away in a nice effort. Good punt fight at the 23-yard line, looking for room to the 30 and cut down about the 32.
Real nice tackle, trying to catch those digits coming up. Number 2 it was, Jim. That's Devin Smith was down there very well. Able to wrap him, almost trying to strip the ball away on the tackle. Nice play by Devin Smith.
So Dallas with the football for the 2nd time. First time they used a lot of first quarter clock, but came up short after the interception by Peyton Williams. 2:10 remaining in this scoreless first quarter.
It's an odd game in some way. I think that the game plan philosophy of both coaches is going to be to try to win a low-scoring game with the defense. Work things on the ground, try to grind out time of possession, limit how much the other team gets the football.
I formation, Wren under center. Wide receiver to either side. First down call. Armando gets it, and Berwick swarms to him. He will lose yardage inside the 30-yard line.
Trying to catch number. It was number 8 in there, Jim, and that's Tajee Taylor. He started the play. He was blitzing by design. He got into the backfield. He spun the man, and then about 6 other Berwick jerseys on top actually knocked him away from Tajee Taylor. A great linebacker play by a kid who's going to be a superstar.
2nd down and 13. Dallas at their own 30-yard line. Slot to the left side. Ben Fife is in that slot. Wren under center. Gives to Armando again. This time there's some running room. He gets into the secondary, but then he hits hard as he gets about 5 to the 35-yard line. 3rd down coming up. About 8.
Tajee Taylor with a read and react that time. Jim caught the man who was inside of him, who drug him for about half a yard. So he got nice yardage, get back to the original line of scrimmage, and about 2 more. But it still does set up a 3rd and relatively long of about 7.
Dallas been in a lot of 3rd down situations in this opening quarter, which has less than a minute to go. Slot to the right side. I formation. Wren. 3rd and 7 call coming. R.J. Wren rolls right. Big pass rush. He's going to be sacked by Knorr back in the 27-yard line.
Tajee Taylor blitzed with outside contain, would not let the man out of the pocket. In fact, made contact with him. And then Knorr runs over R.J. Wren. So Berwick unleashing a lot of blitzes. They don't want this quarterback to get comfortable in the pocket. Boy, we've seen a run blitz stop a play, move it back for 5, and now this one knocked back for about 9.
Mitchell Burgess does the punting for this team. David Biscottini with a low snap, and it goes through the punter. He picks it up at the 5. He's going to run with the ball, and he's got some running room now. The 15 to the 20, the 25, the 30, and he's out of bounds, I believe, short of the first down yardage. Almost picked up the first down.
Dallas very intelligently set up a wall here on the Berwick sideline. I'm not sure when they realized the snap was bad. maybe by Berwick's reaction going after the man. Berwick did not have good angles of pursuit, Jim. The one safety probably should have had him back about 8 yards. They're calling it first down, but they have the chains backward. I did not think he got there.
No, it's first down, but it's
first down Berwick because it was fourth down. Thank you. I got very confused. I'm getting excited. I like the way the play went for Berwick. I like the way the wall was set up by Dallas and just short.
Spencer Kishbaugh is the tight end to the left side. I formation behind Matt Lozinski. Toss, sweep, left side. Blake Maurer looking for room, and there's nothing there.
Dallas is coached well. They have Contain on the pitch sweep. A little quick pitch action. Blake Maurer as quick as he can't get there.
And that is the end of the first quarter play with the score. Berwick nothing. Dallas nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
One quarter of the books here at Crescent Field. This season finale for the Bulldogs. They are locked in a scoreless tie with Dallas, but Berwick trying to take advantage of a bad snap and a punt. Bulldogs moving from our right to our left, have it at the Dallas 40-yard line, second down and 10. I formation behind Matt Linsinski. The sophomore off play action is back to throw, and he fires behind the 10 receiver, Peyton Williams, who was open inside the 30-yard line.
He was, Jim, but he was going to have to put it right on the money. And as you mentioned, he came a little bit behind him. Perhaps he looked at his receiver, was going to sort of hook up in the zone. And instead, Peyton Williams may have took another step forward, thinking the zone was a little more empty there. Two passes, both to tight end Peyton Williams. I think from a coaching point of view, it's good to go to the tight end when you have the quarterback who hasn't played a lot. We've seen it twice now.
Williams at that tight end spot again, to the left, slot to the right. Third down and 10. Play action. Lozinski back to throw. Has time. Looking long for Boone. Goes up and makes the catch at the 11-yard line. A spectacular grab with the defender hanging all over him. First and 10. Berwick near the 10.
Rocco Armando was the guy right with him who went up, but there was inside position by the Berwick player. Two other corners coming in quickly, so 3-on-1 pretty much. But Berwick makes the jump, and they make the catch.
30 yards on the reception by Braden Boone, who is really coming on as a wide receiver as the season progresses. First and goal, Berwick from the 10. The call goes to Blake Maurer. He's got a little bit of running room, and he gets to the 6, maybe the 5-yard line.
Double down inside, and then a kick out with the fullback, Tristan English. English put a good lift on the defensive lineman, opened that seam, got yardage for the runner here in the red zone.
Second and goal, Berwick from the 6. Boy, when you have a sophomore starting for the first time, you love to have some receivers help him out.
Oh, did they?
Braden Boone just did, and Boone is wide to the right with Devin Smith in a slot to that side.
Nice spiral on the long pass, too.
From the 6, I formation behind Lozinski. Again, the call goes to Maurer. Maurer has some running room up the middle.
Yes.
He gets close, and he's in for the touchdown. Blake Maurer in from 6 yards out, and Berwick has the lead.
Berwick lineman helped him out with the signal, but the big block again from that sophomore, Tristan English. Inserted at fullback. We've never seen him play it before, but you can see why they put him at that position. He runs at him, man. He squares right at him, gets him between the numbers, kicks him out of the way. Blake Maurer then finished the last 2 yards on his own and spun into the end zone with a lot of desire.
Brendan Hinkle will get the extra point. Now, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out on the field. 10:48 to go, first half. Berwick 7, Dallas nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio, HLN.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
5-play, 40-yard scoring drive by Berwick, capped on a 6-yard touchdown run by Blake Maurer, the second rushing touchdown of the season for him. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point, making it 7-0. 10:48 to go in the half. Hinkle kicks it away. And will come up to Ben Fife at the 13-yard line, to the 15, to the 20. Fife to the outside, to the 30, to the 35, and hit hard at the sideline, but over the 40 to the 43.
Spencer Kishbaugh puts the punishing shot into the ribs, knocking him out. It's either excellent blocking. He had two blocks as he's coming up the right side, either that or a little bit of help of a hold, but Berwick could not get separation from those blockers. Hunter Model was able to get an arm reaching out, but it's not tag football. He couldn't separate from that chicken fight of a block. And then another man also tied up before Spencer Kishbaugh puts that punishing blow on him.
Well, after getting shut out last week against Crestwood, Berwick has to feel great about getting that score on the board. 7-0 Bulldogs, 10:40 to go, opening half. Slot to the left, I formation. R.J. Wren, the senior quarterback, under center. Berwick jumps across. 5, the easy way for Dallas.
R.J. Wren, strong quarterback. Colleges are looking at him, outstanding athlete. Now using his savvy to bark the signals. Is he stepping out? Forgetting the signal. He's just stepping over to Coach Rich Vanello to get the signal. You would think they'd run the same play they had, but instead of 1st and 10, it's 2nd and 5.
1st and 5.
1st and 5. Might see him roll out. Right side of the field is to the left. He seems comfortable going in either direction. He's been able to get outside the pocket.
Slot to the left side, I formation. 1st and 5 call. Wren back to throw. Quick out, has his man, Fife, and Hunter Model with a good tackle in the open field.
I told him in the pregame he's become my favorite Berwick player. I like the way he plays, Jim. He's aggressive, he hits hard, and that time he saw the play right in front of him. A lateral type of pass. I think if Fife didn't catch it, it might have been ruled as a fumble. Model sees it, comes up, reacts, square up, and that time a very safe tackle to make sure the dangerous Ben Fife doesn't get away.
Just a yard on the reception. Brings up a 2nd down and 4. Dallas from midfield. Slot to the right, I formation. Wren gives to Armando, has running room, and gets the 1st down. Strong run by him to the Berwick 44-yard line.
We saw it on the opening play of the game where Peyton Williams, playing free safety, has to come up and make the hit. So they must have some read from Phil work. You know, their game plan is occasionally going to go straight up inside, right over the center. I'm not sure exactly how they're blocking it. Probably a double team with the center one way, met the other man to get him out of position. They're leading the fullback as well. But they've been able to burst through to that range in the secondary on that particular play.
Mason Lawbaugh shaken up on the play. They look to him on the sideline. Ethan Hughes has taken his place on the defensive front. 1st and 10 Dallas at the Berwick 44. Slot to the right side. Armando the call, slips, keeps his footing, and then gets about 3 to the Berwick 41.
Spencer Kishbaugh met up with that fullback, number 5, Nicholas Gash, and I can see why they've inserted him. We're seeing some great play by young fullbacks, guys we weren't expecting to see, but he was able to neutralize the defensive end, just get enough for Armando to leak through, but Berwick had good pursuit from linebacker positions.
2nd and 7, Dallas at the Berwick 41. Slot to the right side. Wren under center. Berwick showing blitz with Tajee Taylor, and he's coming hard, and the running back runs by him and gets inside the 40 to about the 36-yard line.
Tajee Taylor came to the left gap of the center, and this man went over the left guard, so the opposite side Tajee Taylor actually had penetration of a yard and then got more penetration to 2 yards deep, and the man was able to elude him by the design of the play call.
Ethan Hughes made that last stop for the Bulldogs as Dallas faces a 3rd down and 2 on the march at the Berwick 36-yard line. Wren gives it to Armando, tries the left side, and gets maybe a yard. 4th down coming.
Trying to see who stepped up because they're working on getting Spencer Kishbaugh with the fullback, and he's neutralized. But a linebacker stepped up, and the defensive tackle cheated on over. That was number 57, Brian Knorr, who was involved in it, but the linebacker also comes up well.
4th down and 1. They call Dallas. They trail Berwick 7-0. 7:40 to go opening quarter.
Keep an eye on the quarterback, Jim. The sneak with their cadence worked very well last time. There it is.
Off the right side, he's got the 1st down and then some to the 32-yard line.
It's just an advantage knowing the cadence. You can go. Berwick had jumped off sides early to start this drive. They have to be back a little bit. And they have some size inside. Jim Lehane might have been switched over to the right side. He's a 280-pounder. They may have followed him, along with the blocking of center Lucas Schultz.
1st and 10, Dallas at the Berwick 31-yard line. This possession started with a terrific kick return to the 44. Then Fife in a slot to the left. 1st down call. Long count by Wren. Gives it to Armando, runs into all his blockers and bounces off. It's got some running room. The 1st down and then some inside the 20-yard line down near the 15.
Instead of kicking out the defensive end, they let him come sharp inside, try to fight off when he was expecting a block, and then hooked him inside. So Armando, who was stuffed inside, bounced wide and found that soft corner off to his left toward the Dallas sideline. No one there for the first 10 yards to stop him, and then eventually a lot of Berwick Navy Blue was able to run him down.
17 yards on the carry by the leading rusher on the season for Dallas, Rocco Armando, and the Mountaineers with a 1st and 10 at the Berwick 15-yard line.
R.J. Wren still barking signals, trying to draw some offside, keeping Berwick a little passive.
And flags and whistles, or was it timeout called before?
We don't know. Timeout, Dallas.
6:29 to go, opening quarter, 7-0 Bulldogs. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLN.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Berwick leads this one 7-0, but Dallas threatening. 1st and 10 at the Berwick 15-yard line. As the Mountaineers move from our left to our right, Caleb Evans is checked into the Berwick defensive unit. The Mountaineers will send Ben Fife wide to the left side. Gavin Sibnewski to the right. I formation. 1st down call. Call goes to Armando. Sweeping out left side. Has running room. Hit hard as he gets inside the 10. Down around the 7-yard line.
They seem to be playing games with Spencer Kishbaugh at that right defensive end position. Kicking him out on some plays. Trying to hook him in on other plays. And it manages to be working. Did notice Mason Lawbaugh is back at left defensive end this series.
But Tajee Taylor is out of there. He's standing on the sideline as the gain was 10 by Armando. He's having a good series. And it's 1st and goal. Dallas at the 5. Slot receivers to the right. Wren will now operate out of the gun. And quarterback keeper off the left side has lots of running room, goes in for the touchdown. There is a flag down on the play.
They've been attacking that left side, as I've mentioned, Jim, and this time I saw an illegal use of hands. That will be the call. They just put extra blocker in and let the quarterback run it. Wren is quite the athlete. But the assist by the use of hands opens up the seam, and when you're this close, that's a very big penalty. Changes down and distance dramatically in the red zone.
And Berwick now anticipating perhaps a pass from here sends Blake Maurer into the lineup as an extra defensive back. The penalty brings it back to the 16-yard line where it's a first down and goal.
A very different look for Berwick. They've gone with a bigger offensive front. Spencer Kishbaugh is out as they've sort of loaded up with heavyweights inside.
But they've got an extra defensive back in there as well. Quarterback draw. Wren tries the left side, and he has stood up and brought down after a gain of maybe a yard of the play.
Yeah, Ethan Hughes is the man who actually went to that defensive end, playing in a four-man stance. He has better size to take on the blockers coming at him. Ethan Hughes did a wonderful job in wrapping up that runner.
They give 2 yards to the 14, second down and goal for Dallas. Mountaineers had a touchdown called back on the hold. And now, back at the Berwick 14-yard line, as Wren went to the sideline, got the play, and the senior captain delivers it in the huddle. Slot to the right. Fight in that slot. Wren out of the gun. Has the snap, flags and whistles, blow it dead.
What is the flag?
Another timeout. So Dallas,
just to beat the flag.
Dallas out of timeouts now with 4:58 still to go in the half. We'll keep it right here. And after this timeout, they'll have second and goal at the Berwick 14.
Yeah, flag by the back judge would have been delay of game, Jim. So the timeout just before the clock ran down. As you mentioned, that will be their third timeout. So they're going to have a tough time the final 5 minutes of this half. But a penalty there would have been a real killer. Not sure how strong the field goal kicker is. They're still in position for him. Does that play into the strategy? Just second down. We'll see. All on the left hash. So the wide side of the field is to the right. R.J. Wren, as quarterback, is very athletic. Wouldn't surprise me if he tried to run out. He'd be rolling toward Mason Lombaugh's side if he does come that way. Mason Lombaugh is going to have to make sure he contains that quarterback. He can get overly aggressive and angle too sharply. He's going to have to use his head here.
Second and goal for the 14. Wren gives the ball to Armando. Hit behind the line. He'll get back only to the 15-yard line.
Tristan English eventually brings him down, but the play that bent him back was Brian Noor. They've been going to that left side. They feel they had an advantage. Berwick made double substitutions over there, both Blaine Cleaver and Ethan Hughes coming in. But inside of that was Brian Noor, who penetrated through as they worked to get double teams on the outside and set that play backwards.
Third and goal for the Berwick 15. Wren back to throw, looking, fires over the middle. The ball is tipped and incomplete, nearly picked off.
Was
it Peyton Williams again? Yep. He had the interception earlier, and that time timed it perfectly. Stepped in front of the receiver. Would have been a great catch for the interception, but he almost pulled it off. Field goal unit on for Dallas.
Yes, they are. R.J. Wren will do the holding. They're going to kick it off a tee. Left hash.
Jace Chopyak will try it. 32-yard field goal attempt to get Dallas on the board
from the left hash.
Snap. Placement. Kick is away. Well short. And Berwick will take over the football. So the Bulldogs, with the help of a penalty, get a stand, and they keep the lead. 7-0 Berwick. 4:17 remaining in the opening half.
Yeah, with the help of a penalty, but, without the penalty, the play might have been knocked backwards as well. The penalty yardage did set this team up with touchdown and distance. But look at the play right there at the goal line by Peyton Williams breaking up the pass. Look at the strong plays on the left side, stopping the runs. Fine defensive effort once this team got into the red zone. They made adjustments. And again, I've been impressed with the coaching, Jim. They made a few changes they had to make. They got bigger size out there on the defensive right side to take on, where people were kind of picking on some undersized players, and it made a difference.
Berwick with the ball at their own 20-yard line. 4:17 to go in the half. Bulldogs have all 3 timeouts remaining. Blake Maurer gets the call, tries the left side, nothing there, makes a nice cut, and gets what he can, which is to about the 24-yard line.
Yeah, Dallas plays well. They pursue well, and eventually when he does that cutback, he's going to be running into some of that pursuit. But on a play where I thought it would be loss of 2 yards, Mike Maurer is able to gain almost 5.
Second down coming for the Bulldogs near the 25-yard line. Clock running, 3:46 remaining in the half. Lonzinski, the sophomore, in his first start under center, gives the ball to Maurer again. Senior tries the right side, and Dallas is all over it. He'll get maybe a yard to the 26. Third down play coming.
And not much out there. Man-on-man blocking. Sometimes you try to X-block the tight end and the tackle and open up what would be called the C-gap. Strong linebacker play as well. Pretty much stuffs that one.
Give him a yard on the play. Third down and 4, Berwick. We'd like to keep this drive going with 3:10 remaining in the half. Peyton Williams, the tight end, to the left. Wide receiver to either side. Toss, sweep, left side. Maurer looks for room and nothing there. Good defense by Dallas. He's brought down to the 27-yard line. It's a time like this where Dallas would like to use a timeout, but they have none left. R.J. Wren made a nice play defensively.
Yeah, a conservative call, and I don't blame, Carmen DiFrancesco for being conservative. I'm debating to let the young quarterback pass to try to get that. But the runs have been effective in different parts of the field, and he went with the run, and I like the call.
Peyton Williams gets the snap from Jake Lanning, gets the kick away. Nice punt. Fife lets it bounce, goes over his head, and rolls all the way inside the Dallas 20-yard line, flag down on the play after the ball rolled dead.
A man far away from all the players, I think, saw something behind the play. Maybe an extra push, something that didn't need to be done. Don't know which way this is going. Flag came about 25 yards away from everybody.
Well, that is a big play on that punt. 54 yards, no return.
Ben Fife probably thinks, I should have picked it up on the bounce. They weren't down that quickly, and I would have taken all of that bounce away. About 20 yards of bounce, giving Berwick better field position. They're not saying anything about this penalty flag, Jim. I don't quite understand, but now Dallas is backing up. Or are they?
The officiating crew is led by Harry Caskey, the referee. The umpire is John Basic. Tom Chipago is the linesman. Chris Basic is the line judge. Field judge is Gerald Stepanowski. Nicholas Coleman is the side judge.
Nice group. I always talk to them before the game, and I always tell the referee it's a good crew if you have a lot of Eastern Europeans in there. The two Basics are Slovak. Chipago is actually CZ Chipago from a Polish heritage. Stepanowski, you can guess. I tease him about it.
Illegal use of hands against Dallas. So they're all the way back to their 9-yard line. With 2:16 to go, and they have no timeouts left. As R.J. Wren rolls right, man pursuit, gets the pass away, incomplete. There are no receivers there.
Not sure the high school rules. He was out of the pocket. He rolls toward Mason Lawbaugh and got outside of him. Mason Lawbaugh then planted and angled hard for him, and he eventually had to throw it away. So while Lawbaugh was a little guilty of over-penetration to the inside and letting the man get out, he reacted very quickly that if R.J. Wren chose to run it, he was going to get him at the line of scrimmage.
Touchy situation for Dallas. They don't want to have 3 incompletes and outs and leave Berwick with good field position and timeouts left.
And the last time they tried to punt, they bounced it to the punter.
Now they'll run it with Armando, who had some good runs on the last series. This time gets a yard or two, and now Berwick will use the timeout.
Caleb Evans on the tackle, Jim.
2:04 to go in the half. 7-0 Berwick. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio, HLM.
Do you have the right financial advisor to help you reach your goals? Ameriprise Advisors can create a personalized, goal-based plan to help you prepare for whatever life brings, so you can feel more confident about your financial future. Call Jeffrey McKinnon, Certified Financial Planner with McKinnon Financial Group, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. 570-520-4137. The office is located at 118B East 3rd Street in Berwick, Pennsylvania. Ameriprise Financial Services Services, LLC. Member of FINRA and SIPC.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
2:04 to go in the half. Berwick with a 7-0 lead. And Dallas with a difficult situation. They have a 3rd and 8 at their own 11. Berwick has 2 timeouts remaining.
You mentioned Taji Evans on the sideline earlier, Jim. He's still not in there. Taji Taylor.
Here is the 3rd down call. Wren out of the gun. Slot to the right, man in motion. Wren fakes handoff, keeps the football, and he will go nowhere. Caleb Evans among the people in on the play. Berwick will use the timeout. We'll keep it here with 1:58 remaining. And Dallas will be punting from deep in their own territory.
Defensive tackle Brian Norbach penetration. Went with the first look toward his left. Realized the quarterback kept it. Came on back and able to wrap him up as well. Caleb Evans on 2 successive tackles.
No gain on that play. Berwick will be anticipating the punt. Dallas taking advantage of the timeout, going to the sideline. Again, the only time they've attempted a punt in this game was a bad snap. Now they have the ball at their own 11. Berwick was still 1 timeout to play with, so unless this is a booming punt or a great roll like we saw in Peyton Williams, Berwick's last punt, Berwick figures to get good field position with time left to try to add to that 7-0 lead.
Berwick will have 2 people back to receive the punt. The less chance of one that's not going to be caught in the air. One's in the middle of the field, the other return man over on the far hash. Punter in the end zone, yard or 2 deep.
Mitchell Burgess awaiting the snap. This time it's a good snap. He gets the kick away, line drive kick, and it's muffed by Boone. The scramble is on, and Dallas has the football at the 43-yard line.
David Viscontini able to come up with that football. It was low. He didn't come up far enough to make the catch. He kind of misjudged it. When he did decide he was coming up, it was going to be fielded on a short hop. The short hop got past him. I'm not sure if it was through his legs. Tried to react quickly, but Dallas had people down. They don't have timeouts, Jim, so it's going to be hard for them to move this even with 1:49 left.
Big turnaround in this game. Berwick would have had it at the Dallas 43 with plenty of time left and a timeout. Wren back to throw. Mason Lawbaugh in pursuit. Wren fires the sideline incomplete.
Wren just 2 completes in 7 attempted passes as Berwick is putting really good pressure on him. We've seen some blitzing linebackers coming. We've seen some fine play in defensive tackles. Now Mason Lawbaugh showing you can't get around me twice in a row. I have the angles, and he has the speed. We've seen his speed as a running back going 60, 70 yards for a touchdown. So he's tough at defensive end. Hard to get around him. He would have had the sack if it's not thrown away.
1:43 to go in the half. And Fife is their leading receiver. He is wide to the left.
Taji Taylor back in.
Wren out of the gun. Fires a pass incomplete. Might have been tipped at the line. Came up well short.
Not sure if it was that or they saw that Blake Maurer was in the area. It would have been intercepted, but it would have been quite a hit put upon Ben Fife, I believe, if he caught it there for about a 1-yard gain. Just 2 of 8 now with the 1 interception for R.J. Wren. Berwick putting good pressure on and showing strong coverage.
3rd down and 10. Dallas at their own 43-yard line. Slot to the left side. Fife in the slot. Wren out of the gun. Has the snap. Back to throw. Looking. Fires. Intended for Fife, and it's picked off by Tristan English near the 40-yard line.
It looked like a throwaway, Jim. He didn't really put a lot of mustard on to a man running it out over on the Dallas side. And Tristan English sees that ball, decidedly underthrown, runs up, dives. The ball's at about knee height, able to keep it off the ground. So no punt to change field position. 1:34 left. Berwick with timeouts left. All of them, right, Jim? No, 1. 2. 1.
Berwick at the 41-yard line of Dallas. The Bulldogs had 1 interception on the season. Coming into this game, they have 2 in the opening half. And now from the Dallas 41.
Lonzinski 2 of 3 passing.
Out of the gun. He has the snap. Back to throw. Flag down on the play. He rolls to his left, and he will get just to the 36-yard line. This one may be coming back.
Yeah, flag thrown by the referee. That's where you'd see holding in the backfield. So I anticipate it coming back. And I think if I'm Dallas, I go with the field position and put Berwick back a good bit deeper.
Nick Gashi shaken up on the play for Dallas near the Berwick sideline. Trainers will come across to look to him.
Been playing some strong fullback for them. I've been impressed with both teams' fullbacks. Gashi, the 12th grader, but 5'9", 170, but plays big, plays like he's 200. Aggressively goes after people with kick-out blocks. They've been having particular success off the left side, whether he's kicking out defensive ends or linebackers and coming through. They're working on his right leg, bending his knee, flexing it.
It was a chop block and not a hold, and it's a huge penalty. Berwick all the way back to their own 36-yard line now with 1:25 to go. Gashi will walk off under his own power.
Gashi was in pass protection here on the Berwick side. The play was over on the Dallas side as pass blocking protection was being used. So apparently Berwick was hitting up, and then decided, hey, I'm going to cut this guy. And did it in a way where it's viewed as that chop block, and that will move it back. Berwick is up 7-0. Jim, how aggressively do you try to do something when you're going to need 30-some yards for the chains?
Not at all.
Yeah, 34 yards. This Dallas team is out of its timeouts. I think you try a play or two that's safe where you're not going to turn it over. That's maybe sideways pass and see what you can do with a little shake and bake.
Lonzinski operates out of the gun from the 36-yard line. He gives the ball to Blake Maurer, and he's brought down to the 32-yard line. Dallas had timeouts. They'd use them here, but they do not. That clock continues to run. It'll be under a minute when Berwick takes their next snap, and it is second down.
Matt Lukasavage played that really well. The blocker was on him, and yet he had to keep contained to the outside. He played the blocker with his left inside arm, kept the right outside arm free, and eventually made the tackle on Blake Maurer. Well done.
So if you look at one of those cards that says what to do on second down at 36, what do you get?
Take a knee.
Slot to the right, I formation. From the 31, Maurer's been the workhorse in this first half. Gets the call again, gets out to the 35-yard line. So Berwick will let this clock wind out. And remember, they'll get the ball first to start the second half. So all told, a good first half for the Bulldogs.
Yes, it is. I think they have to be happy with it. I think the play that they regret was the punt that bounced and got through the man and fumbled on the 40-yard line. If they're able to start this drive a minute or two ago at that 40, they'd probably be looking at a few more points to add on.
The half has come to an end here at Crescent Field at the season finale for the Bulldogs. They lead Dallas by a score of 7-0. Stay with us. Later on in the half, Raven Klein will bring you updated on other scores from tonight. Andy Lickney will have all the stats as well. You're listening to Berwick Football and Sports Radio, HLM.
Go Bulldogs from Tri-County Lumber on South Poplar Street, just off Route 11 in Berwick. From the planning stages to the purchase, all the way through to the last nail being hammered, the staff at Tri-County Lumber in Berwick is at your service. Located just off Route 11 on South Poplar Street, Tri-County Lumber offers professional design for your kitchen and bath, cabinetry, and countertops. The products and service you are looking for are located just off Route 11 in Berwick on South Poplar Street at Tri-County Lumber.
If you can't find the GMC truck or SUV that's right for you, then you haven't been to Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg. We've got 30 new Sierras in stock. From the hard-to-find AT4 to the luxurious new Denali. Gas, diesel, we've got them. Plus, we've got the all-new 2021 Yukon. But with rebates and discounts up to $9,000, you'll have to get here before they're gone. Check them out at AlexanderFamilyBuickGMC.com or come see us in Bloomsburg because we've got the GMC you want at the lowest price guaranteed.
After serving their country proudly, the associates at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling are ready to serve their community and you directly. They bring their military standards of respect, integrity, and trust to your junk removal needs. Their services include light hauling, contractor cleanup, general labor services, hot tub removal, estate services, and many more. Contact them at 844-GET-JDOG or check out their reviews on Facebook and Google or stop by their homepage at jdog.com.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Halftime from Crispin Field. Homecoming festivities about to take place down on the field. Berwick leading Dallas at the half by a score of 7-0. Dallas took the opening kickoff, put together a good drive. They got a good return on the kickoff to the 42, got to the Berwick 28-yard line. So on a 3rd and 13, Peyton Williams, playing for the first time in some time. He served a 2-game suspension after being ejected of Williamsport. Came up with a big interception, just the second interception of the season by the Bulldogs, stopping the Dallas threat. Later on in that opening quarter, Dallas had a bad snap on a punt attempt. The punter, though, alertly picked it up, almost got the first down, came up just short. Berwick took over at the 40-yard line, put together a 5-play scoring drive that was capped with 10:48 to go in the second quarter on a 6-yard run by Blake Maurer. The biggest play along the way. Matt Lozinski, a sophomore, first start of his career, threw a pass downfield, and Braden Boone, with a defender draped all over, went up high, made the grab. That was the biggest play. The drive then capped on the touchdown run by Blake Maurer, his second of the season. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point. Berwick had a 7-0 lead early in the second quarter. Dallas then had a 13-play drive. Rocco Armando, big on that drive, runs of 17 and 10 yards. At one point, they did get an apparent touchdown run by R.J. Wren, but it was called back by a penalty. Dallas had to settle for a 32-yard field goal, which was well short. Berwick had one more great opportunity in that opening half as Dallas forced a punt from deep in their own territory. And Berwick was going to get it if the punt had been handled at the Dallas 43-yard line with a timeout left and time left. But unfortunately for the Bulldogs, they muffed that punt. Dallas recovered. Dallas tried to get something going, but Tristan English intercepted for the Bulldogs. Again, they had the ball in Dallas territory, but a penalty put them deep in their own territory, and they just ran out the clock. So at the half, Berwick leads Dallas by a score of 7-0. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio, HLN.
Forge Pub and Eatery on 11th and Mulberry in Berwick is where you need to go when you want a delicious homemade meal. Even the salad dressings are scratch-made. Open every day at 11 with free delivery to the Berwick area. And check out their Facebook page to get the daily specials. They have a full bar, 10 beers on tap with 5 rotating seasonal brews, and an extensive selection of domestic and craft beers. It's the perfect place to go out with colleagues or for date night. Forge will always impress. Forge Pub and Eatery in Berwick is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
In high school football tonight, in the second, Central Columbia leads Bloomsburg 6-0. In District 4 AA semifinals, at halftime, Southern Columbia leads Line Mountain 35-0. In the second, Troy leads South Williamsport 18-14. In District 4 Quad A semifinals, at halftime, Shamokin leads Selinsgrove 9-0. In District 4 and 6A final, in the second, Altoona leads Williamsport 7-0. In District 2 to 6A final, in the second, Delaware Valley leads Hazleton Area 34-7. In the second, Lewisburg leads Hughesville 14-0. And in the second, Warrior Run and Milton are tied at 0. For HLM Sports, I'm Raymond Klein.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Time from Crispin Field, the Bulldogs leading the Mountaineers of Dallas by a score of 7-0. Stats for that opening half. Andy Lickney.
Yeah, interesting, Jim. And here in a 7-0 game, the stats are closed as expected. Berwick has the 7th, but they have less total yards. They have 15 plays for 67 yards. Compare that to Dallas, who has run 25 plays and has 73 yards. So a 6-yard difference for Dallas, but considerably more, 10 more offensive snaps being taken. Of course, they did receive the opening kickoff, and they've shown that they can establish things on the run. But 2 interceptions being thrown by R.J. Wren has stopped drives as Berwick's come up strong, pressuring the quarterback. In my keys for the game, I said they're going to have to control R.J. Wren. He's a fine runner and a fine passer, great athlete. We've seen some of that. But Berwick has controlled him. He has not been able to run effectively. He's been rolling out but being contained and forced to throw the ball away. And he has not been able to do much on scrambles where he gets positive yardage. Just 5 carries for +3 yards. Berwick getting him for 1 sack. And passing the ball, R.J. Wren, who's throwing at 56% for the year, 758 yards, 126 yards a game. Well, in this game, in 9 attempts, he has 2 completes and 2 interceptions. So Berwick playing masterfully, pressuring the quarterback, timely blitzes, good play by the front 4, and strong coverage. The coverage has been outstanding, as the 2 takeaways do indicate. The 2 passes that were complete in the 9 attempts were both to Ben 5, and that's controlling him. He had 23 catches on the season, 529 yards, averaging 88 yards a game, so at this point he should have 44. He's been held to 2 catches for 12 yards. That's all the yardage in the air for R.J. Wren, who's 2 of 9, and Berwick with 2 picks. They've been successful on the ground, 61 yards. They were attacking to their offensive left very successfully, playing games with defensive end and linebacker. Are they going to kick him out with strong fullback play, try to hook him inside? Which way are things going? Berwick made adjustments. They brought those players out for a bit. The personnel changes added a little bit size and strength. And then when the personnel did return, they were more aware of what was happening and played it stronger. In the running game, 23 runs in all for 61 yards. Rocco Ormondo, 16 carries for 54 yards. He's the main ball carrier when they're going by design. Gets out of I formation almost all of the time. As we said, a rather simple package of plays, but they run them very well, and they have great technique in their blocking. So 16 for 54, halfway to 100 for Rocco Ormondo here in the first half. The only other carry by a running back was by Nicholas Gashi, 2-way player. Weren't expecting to see him at fullback, but he's an excellent blocker. On his 1 carry, he got 4 yards. R.J. Wren, the quarterback, as we mentioned, has been controlled. 5 carries for just 3 yards. So 61 on the ground on 23 rushes. Just 12 in the air, a total of 73 yards. It's more than Berwick has, but not by much. Instead of 73, Berwick sitting with 67 yards. 10 plays less if you're looking at comparing time of possession, which we don't have. Berwick will receive the opening kickoff here in the second half. For Berwick, it's 29 yards on the ground, 38 yards in the passing game. We'll look at the passing. Matt Lonzinski, with his first start, has looked solid. He's been called on to throw 3 times. He's completed 2 of the 3. Braden Boone took the long 30-yarder downfield, and I think it was smart of Matt Lonzinski to throw. Down in distance, why not risk it as good as a punt? Put it deep for Braden Boone, who's a great receiver, really proving himself this year. He went up higher than the 3 people around him, caught it in front of the safety. The corners were a little further away, but he set Berwick up for their touchdown. A 30-yard reception for Braden Boone. The other pass to tight end, Peyton Williams, that opened the game, a nice 8-yarder. Released it about 5 or 6, broke to the outside, nice, easy pitch and catch play for Lonzinski to Peyton Williams, who's back in uniform tonight. In fact, they went to him just a little bit after that as well. And, he was a little bit behind them, but almost made the catch. 38 yards on 3 passing attempts, 2 being completed. No interceptions for Matt Lonzinski, getting his first start at quarterback. He has not run the ball at all. All of the running, and I mean all of it, has been by Blake Maurer. In the running game, 12 carries, 29 yards for Blake Maurer. 12 carries, 29 yards. He's in the back of an eye. We've seen fullback and Tristan English do some very impressive blocking for him. Tristan often takes on the linebacker and gets a kick-out block for him, and when things work well, it goes well. Sometimes the line of scrimmage is broken down with other blockers. When Blake Maurer has that seam, he can make it happen. And a lot of the credit, I think, in his success on the bigger plays in this first half go to fullback Tristan English. 29 on the ground, all 29 by Blake Maurer. 38 in the air on 2 of 3 passing by Lonzinski. 67 yards total offense on 15 plays. Again, comparing it to the 73 yards on 25 plays by Dallas. Berwick does have the lead, though, 7-0 here at halftime.
Things have worked out as the Bulldogs had hoped. When we talked to Carmen DiFrancesco on his show earlier, said the points might be tough to come by. Your defense is going to have to carry you. They have. I just like how aggressive they were, not only in the line, but the secondary, going after receivers, getting in front of receivers, a couple of interceptions, forcing turnovers, something they haven't done this season. And so far, although they haven't asked Matt Lonzinski to do a lot, the stage doesn't look too big for him.
He's passing my test, and often after a first half, you can turn him loose if you have to. I think the notion is you're leading 7-0. You don't have to. You've been forcing some mistakes out of Dallas. Berwick had a bad mistake on the missed punt. That would have been probably points or a good chance for it here at the end of the half. It could have been 10-0 unless, they broke through for the touchdown. But, things haven't gone well for Dallas. R.J. Wren, who doesn't throw many interceptions, has the 2 interceptions in this game. He's thrown only 3 all year. But Berwick's played opportunistic, strong in the secondary and strong in the pass rush, a wonderful defensive game plan. And when they've needed to stop drives, they've made some personnel adjustments and also some positional adjustments. I'm very impressed with the players' attitude, effort, and also with the coaching adjustments.
A lot of players doing well for Berwick, particularly on the defensive side. But how about Caleb Evans, the senior who has played very, very little during the course of his career? He's filling in from time to time for the leading tackler, Taji Taylor, and he was in on a couple of back-to-back plays.
It's when you wanted to keep them pinned in, they were forced after a couple tackles by him to punt from their own end zone after they had a bad snap on a previous punt. So all was looking good, and you can look at that defensive series that stopped them and forced them to punt to the end zone from the play of Caleb Evans with his 2 tackles in that series.
7-0. Berwick leads Dallas at the break. We'll be back with a second-half kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with prearranged funeral counseling insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
Mason's Monogram in Berwick is gearing up for the holiday season. With over 30 years experience, this family-owned and operated business has the perfect Christmas gift for anyone, whether you shop in person or buy online at masonsmonogramming.com. They have the latest selection of Bulldog items, masks, robes, blankets, winter gear, and apparel. Indestructible silicone cups, koozies, decals, brand new Berwick Christmas ornaments, and more. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
You haven't had the best until you've been to Romeo's Italian Submarines. Romeo's Italian Submarines. You've got to try them. Romeo's menu includes their popular wings, wraps, ice cream, and so much more. Romeo's Italian Submarines open till 9 Sunday through Thursday until 10 Friday and Saturday. Visit Romeo's Italian Submarines at 1306 Orange Street in Berwick or visit their Facebook page to check out their delicious menu and their specials. They also offer delivery to the local Berwick area. Romeo's is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team. Go Dogs!
Ask Ameriprise financial advisor Jeffrey McKinnon, certified financial planner, about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach. It's a personalized, flexible, step-by-step approach toward financial balance. Call Jeff today at 570-520-4137. The office is located at 118B East 3rd Street in Berwick. The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services, a registered investment advisor.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Halftime from Crispin Field. Homecoming festivities continuing on the field. Berwick leading Dallas at the break by a score of 7-0. Last week was considered a senior night for the Bulldogs as the senior players and cheerleaders and band members were introduced with their loved ones. But really, this is the last home appearance for the Berwick seniors. There aren't a lot of them, but it's a good group. Andy, go through them.
Well, we'll start with Blaine Cleaver, Jim. You talk about one of the very best talents in the state. And outside of the opening scrimmage, just the first series or so with Southern Columbia, he's been out of uniform with an injury. Talk to him most games, get to see him. He's feeling a little better. He wishes he could play, and he's done everything. Wore number 9 for the Bulldogs, but didn't get a snap or any action in varsity action this year. He was escorted into the field last night by his dad, J.J. Cleaver, an ex-Bulldog, and his mom, Tanya Cleaver. Trent Davis wears number 6. He was brought in by Patrick and Angie Davis. Caleb Evans, we've mentioned number 80 in his strong play here down in the red zone, keeping Dallas penned in. Jenny and Keith Evans Jr. brought him into the field. And Ethan Hughes has had strong play both ways in this particular game. A lineman, they often go unnoticed. But in this game, he's been forced into a little action at defensive end because of his size. And he's looked strong defensively as well as offensively. Ella Hughes and Joe Hughes brought him into the stadium. Brian Knorr wears number 57, the lineman of the Knorr brothers. Brian Knorr and Stephanie Knorr brought him in. A strong player. We've seen him very effective in this game defensively. looking good, catching people and throwing them backwards to the ground as people have trouble eluding his grasp. Jake Lanning, number 65, was the center, the key to the offensive line, missed a number of games at midseason. They missed him, able to manage to fill on in, but he's strong and back on in there again, a leader, one of the finer linemen. Jason and Sarah Lanning, his parents. Mason Lawbaugh wears number 1. He was escorted by Stephanie Michael and Elizabeth Lawbaugh onto the field. Good to see him back after a month out of uniform with COVID and the suspension. Playing a strong left defensive end in this game. Blake Maurer has seen a lot of action. He missed a game or so with a twisted ankle, played through some injury. Leading ball carrier in this game with every carry for his team. Shows you how they rely on him. 12 carries, 29 yards here at halftime. Also see him inserted defensively to bring his veteran leadership. John Sheptock played strong all year. I think a player who's made the greatest jump from his junior year to his senior year. Always had the talent, but boy, he stepped it up in leadership and physicality. John Sheptock, his coaching father, and Jennifer Sheptock, his parents. Devin Smith wears number 2, diminutive person in the secondary. Plays very strong. He was brought out last week by Brandy, off switcher. Nathan Traum, number 56, son of Melissa and Christopher Traum. One of those unsung linemen that never seem to get enough credit. Peyton Williams, number 19, has had an interception in this game and a number of strong hits from the safety position. He was brought in last week by Michelle and Brian Williams. Jordan Young, big number 77, a strong lineman. Son of Joff with Jessica Young contributing again in the trenches for his team. And Isaac Tripp also came in last week. He wears number 3. I see him most games. I told him I want to see 2 touchdowns out of his game, but he's just not getting the touches. Aaron and Danielle Tripp, his parents. 14 seniors that are playing in their last game for Berwick, last time on Crispin Field as well, and the team will miss them.
And it's not how they wanted to go out with a losing record, but boy, what a boost it would be to the whole team, but especially to the seniors playing their last game here at Crispin Field if they could hang on to this lead. But that lead is just 7-0. Most of the senior nights this year were not on the last regular season home game for teams because the craziness of this season, you just didn't know whether there would be a last night. Take Dallas at the very beginning of the season. They found out that their game against Tunkhannock to open the season was canceled 4 hours before kickoff. And that's a horror story, but not the only one that teams have had to deal with this season. So the fact that we are getting through a season, although a truncated one, that's a verb I didn't know until this year, but it's been crazy, but it's been a season, and that's the point. And Berwick will try to add or hang on to this 7-0 lead. They will get the football to start the second half. They lead by a score of 7-0. If you're just joining us, the touchdown coming on a 6-yard run by Blake Bauer, set up on a 30-yard reception from Matt Lunzinski, his first start at quarterback. A terrific catch by Braden Boone. So we're set to go. Chase Chopyak will kick off for Dallas. 3 players deep for Berwick. 7-0. Bulldogs in the lead, and the second half is underway. The kick is high, and it's fielded at the far side, back at the 6-yard line. The return to the 20, to the 25, the 30, the 35, and out to the 41-yard line. Terrific return by Logan Smith.
One of the 3 deep men over on the farthest side by the Dallas pylon in the end zone. Caught it and brought it up toward the middle. He has great speed, as we've seen, Jim. He's been wonderful when they've had him in the backfield in previous games. Didn't get a touch yet in this one, but boy, after that nice return, you might be tempted to give him a few touches in the backfield.
His first return of the season, and it's a beauty. And Berwick starts off at their own 41-yard line. The referee has his hand on the shoulder of Matt Lunzinski, giving him some trouble with the 40-second clock, Jim. Now they may just say, we'll keep this on the field for now. Lunzinski will operate out of the gun. Two receivers to the right. He has the snap, and he's back to throw. He fires a bullet pass, and right at the sticks. Very close to a first down is Braden Boone, and they do move the sticks to the Dallas 49.
They let him open their first drive, passing to Peyton Williams. Here again, they're opening with the pass, this time to Braden Boone. He had the 30-yarder in the first half, and that one that gets to change. What do you get, about 12?
10 on the play. Exactly 10. And arm strength is not an issue with Matt Lonzinski.
No, almost threw it through Braden Boone.
Slot to the left side. Lonzinski again out of the gun. As the snap, play action, back to throw, fires, and it's dropped by Devin Smith at about the 48-yard line.
Yeah, a little low, down at his ankles, and I think Devin Smith wanted to catch it and run. If the whole focus was on the catch, he might have caught it, but then he might have been stopped right there at the line of scrimmage. So opening with Matt Lonzinski, who's thrown just 3 passes in the first half, first 2 plays, passing plays.
Second down and 10. Berwick at the Dallas 49-yard line. Lonzinski now under center. Blake Bauer, the lone running back. Rolling right is the sophomore quarterback. Fires, has a completion across the way. Knocked out of bounds at the Dallas 43-yard line.
Braden Boone again. Quick out pattern. Looks like about 7 yards. They're going to call it at 5 until they knocked him out of bounds. He juggled it momentarily on the sideline, but awarded the catch at possession before being knocked out.
So Berwick facing a third down and 5. They have it at the Dallas 44-yard line. We're just underway in the second half. Bulldogs lead this one by a score of 7-0.
Quarterback Matt Lonzinski isn't the fastest of runners, but he has a big physical presence to him. If he goes and has to drop the shoulder, he could probably drive for him.
Dallas showing blitz. Lonzinski has the snap. Fires over the head of his intended receiver, Blake Maurer, as Lonzinski was carried by Tyler Dazinski, linebacker for Dallas. So Berwick's 4th and 5. Looks like they'll bring the punt team on.
Sounds like you're calling the game in Warsaw, Poland. Yeah, he was. There's nothing he can do. He tried to go right, tried to go left, but then Dinsky had him squared up and just tried to dump it where Blake Maurer was, but he just didn't have the ability to put it on target. No one would.
Peyton Williams gets the snap, gets the kick away, a line drive kick. Fife will field it on the hop at the 9-yard line. Fife to the 20, Fife to the 25, to the 30, and just tripped up at the 35-yard line. And Fife was a shoestring tackle away from a touchdown.
Yeah, and it was played well downfield by Devin Smith, who got down, took on the blocker, and would not let him run to the outside. He pitched it in, and Berwick's pursuit should have been able to get in. But Fife is very dangerous. We've seen it earlier on such a play. He runs well with the football. Peyton Williams has had to stop him a few times in this game. Stopped him there with a shoestring-type tackle.
Dallas's first snap of the second half. They have it at their own 35-yard line, moving from our left to our right.
Looks like Mason Lawbaugh's been moved in to like a nose guard defensive tackle. We've seen him mostly at his left defensive end position. Don't think he broke from that, but they like using him inside for pressure, too.
They've used Ethan Hughes moves outside on the move from the 35-yard line. Play action, rolling out is Wren, throws, and Fife makes a diving catch for a first down at the 46-yard line.
Probably call it 11 yards. He had to come back for it. Fife is good on the run, whether he's rolling left or rolling right. He doesn't need to stop. So he's going counter where his dominant hand is as he rolls to the left, keeps on running, just kind of floats it on out there for Fife, comes back and takes himself down to the ground.
Blake Maurer in. Hunter model out for the Bulldogs. 1st and 10, Dallas from their own 46-yard line. Slot to the right. Wren gives it to Armando. Tries the left side, looking for room. Battles hard, but doesn't get much. Flag down well after the play.
Into the sort of scrum that was pushing. I don't know if someone got a hand up to the face mask. I don't think you'd call a hold in there by the timing of that flag. Ethan Hughes sort of met him the yard, but he was able to drive after that play or late on the call. It is a penalty against Berwick. I missed the signal, Jim.
Personal foul was the call. So a 3-yard pickup, and then they'll add on to that. So it's a big play for the Mountaineers. As 15 added on to the 3, so an 18-yard gain altogether. It's at the Berwick 36-yard line where they have a 1st and 10.
And midfield isn't good. The 15 yards in from midfield. Now you're only 15 yards away from the red zone.
Slot to the right side. I formation. Gashi is the fullback, head of Armando in the I. Wren under center gives to Gashi, the fullback. There's room for him, and he gets to the 30, maybe the 29-yard line.
He's had so few carries on the season and in this game that when they handed to the fullback with the rest of the backfield action looking like a sweep to the right, he was able to sneak on through, cut back against the grain, and Gashi there was getting his 2nd carry of the game. We'll move it ahead for 7.
Caleb Evans in, replacing Taji Taylor. As 2nd down and 3, Dallas at the 29. Play action, rolling right is Wren. Fires on the backfield, has a man. Completion to the 20, to the 15, and knocked out of bounds. Down around the 10-yard line. Gashi, the fullback, with the catch.
Neat design to the play. I couldn't tell you where every receiver went, but as the quarterback rolls to the right, he's using the fullback to block. The fullback then slips out into the flat to hit him. A receiver is already peeling back to block the man that was going to cover Gashi. So he then takes it down to the sideline. As he's being tackled, the ball gets away from him but out of bounds.
20 yards on the reception. 1st and goal, Dallas at the Berwick 9-yard line. Wren under center, I formation behind him. Gives the ball to Armando, tries the left side, has some room inside the 5, running hard down near the 1-yard line. Good effort by Rocco Armando.
They've been effective against the left, running to their left throughout the game, Jim. They must have their better linemen there. They like what the tight end can do. They like the play they're getting out of the fullback. As we mentioned, it's not a lot of variety in this offense, but what they do very well. Coached well with technique on how to block. You can see that. Berwick's been switching personnel on that side to try to find an answer, but boy, when you're blocking well, there's not always an answer.
8 yards on the carry. From the 1-yard line, quarterback keeper, Wren off the right side is in for the touchdown. R.J. Wren for the score. Dallas made it look easy. That personal foul call against Berwick was huge.
Yes, it was. 3rd quarterback sneak that's been run with success by R.J. Wren and his center. That would be Lucas Schultz, number 56. They make that play look easy as well. But, boy, as you mentioned, you get momentum after that big penalty. Berwick loses the momentum. It gets down a little bit.
Jace Chopyuk will attempt the extra point to try to tie it. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Top of the field. 8:23 remaining, 3rd quarter. Berwick 7, Dallas 7. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative EP Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
65-yard scoring drive by the Mountaineers of Dallas on their first possession of the second half. R.J. Wren goes in from the 1-yard line, and the score is tied at 7 with 8:23 to go in the third.
Berwick's got to turn the momentum, Jim. They got to find some plays along the way to get their mojo back.
Chopyuk's kick, very, very high, fielded up the middle by Blake Maurer at the 15 to the 20 to the 25 to the 30, the 35, and out near the 40-yard line. Another nice kick return by Berwick. That one by Blake Maurer.
That could get you some of your mojo. Good field position. Rocco Armando, his counterpart on the Dallas offense, the running back, bringing him down with the tackle a little bit high, but legal.
Bulldogs at their own 39-yard line. Score tied at 7, 8:15 remaining in the third quarter of the season finale.
Opened this half with 4 passes, 2 being complete. Did they stay with that trend, or they go back to the running game? I'm sure they're trying to loosen up the defense to make the run more effective.
Rowan Slobinski wide to the right. There's a slot to the left. Wanzinski out of the gun. Has the snap, fakes handoff, keeps the football himself, looks for room, and nothing there. He'll get a yard, maybe 2 to the 41-yard line.
Strong play by Gabe Allen in there defensively on the defensive line. 11th grader, 235 pounds. It looked like Lonzinski was going to take it outside to the left. It was designed. It was that, I forget the name of it, run-pass option type of play, and he came up the middle.
Second down and 8. Bulldogs at the 41. Lonzinski out of the gun with a slot to the left. Has the snap. He's looking left. He fires. He has Peyton Williams, who extends the body, gets out to about the 46, maybe the 47. Tyler Nosinski on the stop from his linebacker position for Dallas. They'll pick up 5 on the play. Third down and 3. Berwick went 3 and out in their first possession. Dallas went down and scored to tie it. So it's a pretty big conversion by the Bulldogs, even though we're early in this third quarter.
Yeah, second pass to Peyton Williams that he's caught. Nice concept when you can go to the tight end with the inexperienced quarterback.
Slot to the right side. Lonzinski under center. Third down and 3 call. It goes to Blake Maurer, lowers the shoulder, but will not get the first down. Ben Fife makes the stop. It's close. I think they are short. No, he was able to get it. That last-second effort by Blake Maurer gets the first down to the 49. Good effort by him.
Yes, it was. And again, the blocking of Tristan English. The fullback was set as a wing on the left, play side. He fronted his man, turned him outside, gave that little inside where Blake Maurer gets the head of steam and pound, wins the collision at the line's gain.
English is on a wing to the left side. Lonzinski out of the gun, looks to the right side of the field, and it goes right through the hands of Devin Smith. At the 47-yard line, second drop for him. It'll be second down and 10 at the 49.
Lonzinski's been on with most of the passes. He's had relatively good protection outside of a few blitzes that have come his way. So passing on first down often holds back the pass rush. Devin Smith was out there, but as you said, just couldn't hold on to it, Jim. 2 catches on the season for 17 yards. That would have been another short one. Would have taken it out of bounds after about 4 or 5, I guess.
Second down and 10. Berwick at their own 49. Slot to the right side. Lonzinski out of the gun. Fires it out to Devin Smith again. This time he catches it, but Dallas all over, makes a quick second effort. Gets a couple out of it to the Dallas 49-yard line. Picks up 2. It's going to be a third down and 8.
This time a sideways pass to Devin Smith, who was 2 yards off the ball at the line of scrimmage. Man came up and should have had him dropped right there, but he was able to spin away and pull his ankle away from that. However, another man, a safety coming over, met him very soon afterwards. So it's a nice effort. Good idea, the sideways pass, try to shake and bake and get yardage. But Dallas pursues very well to the football.
Third down and 8. Berwick from the Dallas 49. Matt Lonzinski out of the gun, has the snap, back to throw. Here comes the pass rush. He'll be sacked way back at the 38-yard line. Flag down on the play. Maybe face mask.
51 and 32. Tyler Nosinski, as well as Gabe Allen, we've seen earlier, getting on in. I didn't see the flag, Jim, but they were tackling up high. It's kind of like, we got him. And you get a little overly aggressive sometime when you're bringing that man down when it's an obvious sack.
I don't think that is a automatic first down, though, so it might be a moot point. Berwick will be punting from a little better position if that's the case.
Will they get the ball back, or will they get another down? It's face masking. If it happens during the play...
Well, actually, they're only calling it a 5-yarder.
Well, but do you get the play back?
So it brings it back to up to the 46-yard line. And it stays, according to the yard markers, third down. But third down and 13 at the 46.
Bonzinski, when he's been afforded protection, has looked strong. You mentioned that rifle arm that he has, Jim. However, Dallas knows that he's passing. They may choose blitz rather than extra coverage as they feel Berwick's receivers could be taken on man-to-man.
3rd and 13. Bonzinski has the snap. Back to throw. Big pass rush. Throws it away to the far side of the field. So Dallas finding a way to get at Matt Bonzinski. And boy, if you talk about the momentum in this game, all you have to do is look at the sideline. Dallas has every player standing, yelling as close as they can to the sideline. Berwick's pretty blasé on this side. This game has turned completely, as far as momentum is concerned, and spirit and energy in favor of Dallas, even though we're still tied at 7 with 5:11 to go in the third.
Berwick doesn't have that many people on the sideline either, Jim, but they're not in. They're going to have to pick it up. The late flag. You might see things. Might be a sideline warning.
That's probably the case. Are they moving Berwick back?
I didn't see it. Intentional grounding.
Yeah.
He threw it away. There was a number 70 in the area, Jim. I wondered if they were going to call an illegal lineman downfield, but it's an incomplete pass, which shouldn't matter. But if he's the guy that's being viewed as a receiver and he's wearing a 70 and can't catch it, then I suppose you can go with grounding call.
Boy, that's a huge penalty because now Dallas figures to get great field position as Peyton Williams backed up to his own 10-yard line.
Been punting rather well in this game, Jim, for the number 3. We've seen 4 different punters for Berwick on the course of the season. I hope by saying that I don't jinx him. Did they march this off right? Is the grounding from where the quarterback is, and then you march it off? As you mentioned, it's a lot of yardage.
Harry Caskey was talking things over with Dallas coach Rich Vanello. Now he comes and joins his staff. The crew has slowed this game down.
Yeah. Now they're getting into their positions, and we'll get a whistle to start play. Berwick all ready to punt.
Dallas figures to get good field position. As Williams back at his 10. Good snap by Jake Lanning. Williams the kick away. Nice kick. Good coverage by Berwick and a fair catch at the Dallas 46-yard line by Ben Fife. So the Mountaineers with good field position. With 5:05 to go in the third, they have the momentum to score is tied at 7.
Strategically, Berwick needs some impact plays to get that spirit back, that momentum back, Jim. They forced 2 interceptions out of this quarterback the first half. Maybe you think of blitzing linebackers, looking for Tajee Taylor, not in there. One of your stronger impact players. Big number 8, or is he a defensive end? He's a defensive end now.
1st and 10.
Mason Lawbaugh on the sideline.
Dallas at their 46. Slot to the right side. I formation. Wren under center. Gives the ball to Armande. Armande is hit behind the line and dropped for a loss back at the 42-yard line. Andrew Block is among the people under the play for Berwick.
Block has got penetration from a defensive tackle. Got on in there, and then Tajee Taylor, the defensive end on the same side, chased it down and put 2 hands on the man. They'll lose 5 on that running play.
2nd down and 14 is the ball back at the 42-yard line. Caleb Evans is in at linebacker, and they move Tajee Taylor back to defensive end where he started the season. 2nd down call coming. Armande again the call. This time lots of running room, but a flag down the play. He gets the first down. This one may come back.
Braden Boone at the corner finally did get low and knock him down, but you're right. At the line of scrimmage, a holding call. So they're already 4 yards behind the chains, needing 14 to move the holding from there. They'll need 24. Now it's a question of what does Rich Vanello choose to do? Does he go after this aggressively in a tie game? Or do you stay conservative? Keep the momentum you've had, or hope to keep the momentum you have after some conservative calls, and wait till you have a better down and distance situation to try for your scores. We'll see here.
2nd and 25, Dallas back at the 31-yard line.
I'd watch for the quarterback thinking maybe he can run on a rollout. He's been marking the signals to try to keep the defense honest.
And pipe wide to the right side. Play action. They're setting up a screen to the left. They make the completion, and Armande, good second effort over the 35 out near the 40-yard line. Nick Gashi, the fullback. Berwick looked like they had it covered well on that far side, but he made a good run after the catch. Obviously well short of the sticks. 3rd and long coming from the 39.
Yeah, but you don't mind getting partway there. Oh, they knocked him out, Jim. We thought it was covered well, and it was covered well. Berwick had a man.
8 on the carry, 3rd down and 7, or the pass completion to Gashi, 3rd down and 17.
Add that 8-yarder to his 20-yarder. He had no catches coming into the game.
Slot to the right side. Ran out of the gun. 3rd and long, Dallas. Wren, quarterback draw, looking for room, has some. He's hit hard as he gets to about the 46-yard line. That's where this possession started. So Berwick will get the football back.
Tristan English squared up on him, and then Spencer Kishbaum also joined in on the tackle. But will force the punt. Berwick needs to field it cleanly, and they'd love a strong return.
Mitchell Burgess back to do the punting back at the 32. Isaac Tripp, Braden Boone deep for Berwick. Kick is a good one, very, very high. Fair catch by Tripp. He mucks the ball, and Berwick able to get on it back at the 19-yard line.
Almost looked like infield pop-up that you drop on purpose for some reason. He had it in possession, and then it was like, I'll bounce it to myself. I'm sure that wasn't the case. There's a strange look on the late drop.
But a good punt by Mitchell, and Berwick back at their 19-yard line with the football. 3:18 to go in the 3rd, and the score tied at 7.
The passing receiving stars have been Braden Boone, and we've seen 2 by Peyton Williams. They've hit Devin Smith, who can often shake and bake people as well. They have the 5 catches for Berwick. The running game pretty much has been slowed down.
Williams is the tight end on the right. There's a slot to the right. Lenzinski gives the ball to Blake Maurer, and Maurer on second effort will get it out to about the 23-yard line. Picks up close to 4 on the play.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, a lot of it his own personal effort. They had people spread out. They'll call it 3, though. Dallas will certainly be content with that as the first down play for Berwick on this new series. Lonzinski coming over to the sideline to get the next play call.
2nd and 7.
You missed the running quarterback. Lonzinski has a lot of talents, but speed and elusiveness is not going to be one of them.
Benny Noor out with the injury. Lonzinski back to throw off play action. Plenty of time. Now it breaks down. He's forced to run with the football. Second effort by him is close to a first down.
I'll have to keep saying that. He broke it up and ran over left tackle, so he got past the initial wave of defenders that ran by him. He got into the linebacker area. He showed good ball security. Gained the 6 yards until they brought him down. He may not have the elusiveness of Benny nor the foot speed, but he's bigger and stronger, and he can drop that shoulder when he's near the yard to gain.
8 yards on the carry by Matt Lonzinski. 1st and 10, Berwick at the 30-yard lines. We go under 2 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. Score tied at 7. As Braden Boone wide to the right side. There's a slot to the left. Lonzinski out of the gun. Gives the ball to Maurer. Tries the left side. Makes a good move and good effort by Maurer over the 35-yard line.
Nick Gashi tackling the football, holding it away as the tackle's finished, showing it to the officials, but not awarded with the turnover. First perimeter play where Berwick's really had the success. Different type of look as Blake Maurer goes around left end and turns it up. It was nice.
2nd down and 4. 6 yards on that carry by Blake Maurer. He's really been the workhorse. And this is final game in a Berwick uniform.
Every carry except 2 by the quarterback.
Boone wide to the right. Devin Smith in the slot to that side. Lonzinski out of the gun and 2nd down and 4. Lenzinski gives the ball to Maurer, hit behind the line of scrimmage, keeps his footing, lowers the shoulder, and is ridden out of bounds on the Dallas sideline. Gain of maybe a yard on the play. So third down coming for Berwick.
The person who made the tackle is holding his shoulder but shaking it off. That's Armando, Jim, the runner. Shaking that injury off, though. Stunned for a moment. Feels he's able to play. Number 34 was the man who was able to put the pressure in and force him to bubble back. That's the freshman, A.J. Fife, who's playing for Dallas.
Third down and 3, Berwick at their own 37-yard line. Maurer to the right of Matt Lenzinski, who waits the shotgun snap from Jake Lanning. He has it. He's back to throw. He fires to the sideline. Devin Smith has it, ducks under a tackle, and gets the first down. Good effort by Smith. He was going to be brought down, probably the line of scrimmage, but he actually ducked under a would-be tackler, and his second effort gives Berwick a first down.
Devin Smith on the program listed at 5'8". That might be a little generous. Sometimes the more diminutive players can use that duck under. They usually tend to get you a little bit high. He ducked under and broke away. That extra effort and that move got him an extra 5 yards.
8 yards altogether on the catch. Berwick, first and 10 at their own 45-yard line. Lenzinski gives the ball to Logan Smith, his first carry of the game, and he makes something of it. He lost the football, though. Dallas thinking they have it at the 48-yard line.
I think Berwick came back up with it, Jim. I think it was 77, Jordan Young, who fell on it. Oh, that was thrilling at the beginning, and then like, whoa, what's going on? The ball's behind him. It'll be a 6-yard gain on first down, and who was our runner?
Devin Smith, his first carry of this game.
Logan Smith, that's right. The number threw me off again.
As we will come to the end of this third quarter with the score, Dallas 7, Berwick 7. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLN.
Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Reds Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing, specializing in metal and rubber shingles. Most roofing work is done in one day, so remember the name, Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Reds Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney from Creston Field in Berwick. It is the season finale for the Bulldogs, and they are locked in a 7-7 tie with the Mountaineers of Dallas. We start the final period. Berwick with the ball at the Dallas 49-yard line, facing a second down and 4.
Talked about momentum swings, Jim, and the excitement of the quickness of the Logan Smith run. And then the gasp of recovering the fumble 2 yards before. Give Berwick momentum.
Smith is the tailback. Lenzinski tries to hand off. It's not there, and he'll lose yardage on the play.
He didn't have the ball well, Jim. That was the problem. Somehow in the quarterback-center exchange, he just never got a good grip on it. It was twisting in his hand. He couldn't make the handoff. You take that little bit of a loss. You still have third down, but you don't fumble it away.
Third and 6. You'd love to have Blake Maurer on the field, but he's being tended to on the sideline. The reason he's been out on the last couple of plays. Third down and 6. For Berwick. They move from our left to our right in this final period.
Someone's got to step up, Jim. Blake Maurer probably wouldn't be getting a carry on this play.
Slot to the left side. Lenzinski back to throw. Pump fake. Not there. Now he fires. The ball is tipped and it's intercepted. The return to the 30. To R.J. Wren at the 40. The 45. Over midfield. Wren on the run. Still on his feet, finally brought down inside the Berwick 30. R.J. Wren with the interception and the return, and Dallas in great shape to take the lead here early in the fourth.
Lenzinski had the football, and he was running out of time in the pocket. He realized, I think it was third down, they'd be punting. So he threw a rifle shot downfield. I believe it was going to be to Peyton Williams, the tight end. It was about 18 yards downfield. Peyton Williams jumped, but it was such a rifle shot, and his hands barely got to it. that it tipped behind him another 10 yards right to R.J. Wren. Wren then, of course, showed the athleticism. He's been denied a lot of that when he has it at quarterback, but they're in open field. Very, very dangerous. Great return for him.
Dallas at the Berwick 30-yard line. Wren gives the ball straight ahead. Armando and nothing doing right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Berwick annoyed. They're losing their opportunity. Defensively comes up very strong.
Second down and 10 for the Mountaineers at the Berwick 30-yard line. Big moment early in the fourth with the score tied at 7. And Dallas threatening after the interception by R.J. Wren. He is the quarterback. Slot to the right, I formation. Second down call. Wren, play action back to throw. Oh, he gets away and completes the pass to the far side. Tajee Taylor had him wrapped up, let him go, and a big play for Dallas. They move the sticks.
He's rolling to the right where Tajee Taylor is, the defensive end position. A little bit too sharp of an angle for Tajee, and while he does get him in two-hand touch, he can't grab onto the jersey. Quarterback gets rid of it quickly after he breaks free. Fife on the outside, able to juggle and make the catch before going out of bounds.
It was not a first down. It was an 8-yard pickup to the Berwick 22-yard line. But could have very well been a sack. Third down and 2. Wren gives the ball to Armando, has the first down, and then some good effort by him as he spins to the 15-yard line.
Berwick blitzing, but picked the wrong side of the center. Came to the defensive right of center. Armando actually saw it, and he reacted behind the line of scrimmage, bent off to the other side. There was a seam there. He got a little yardage where the linebacker had vacated on the blitz and turns it into a nice positive play.
6 yards on the carry. First and 10. Berwick trying to get a player off the field. They do in time as Wren gives the ball to Armando off the left side. More good yardage for him inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Right now, Dallas is winning the battles in the line of scrimmage. Armando, the workhorse, going hard, bending it to the left, taking it again for nice yardage.
They're marking the ball at the 7-yard line. Second down and 1. Dallas closing in on their first lead of this game. I formation. From the 7, Wren rolls, fires, has his man on the far side, out of bounds, outside the 1-yard line. It's Nagashi again, who's becoming a favorite target of R.J. Wren.
No pass receptions the entire season, played very little offense. Now they're putting him at fullback. He goes as the blocker for his quarterback rolling to the right, turns it as an out pattern, just gets the feet in. He had the catch. It was a question of could he turn it up to the pylon about half a yard away. He was going out of bounds before that.
Dallas a yard away from the lead. Look for R.J. Wren on the quarterback keeper. There it is, off the right side. Gets a push from behind, and no indication from the officials just yet. Yeah. And now it is a touchdown as he bounced it off to the right.
He was pushed but never wrapped. Berwick stopped his initial surge. He couldn't go forward. And somehow, without anyone able to wrap their hand, they didn't blow the whistle. He then spun it, and took it off to his right side. And as he's being tackled at the goal line, he reached the ball across right in front of the official.
R.J. Wren started the whole thing with his interception and return. He finishes it with a touchdown run, and Dallas has the lead. As Chopiak attempts the extra point. Snap, placement. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out on the field, exactly 9 minutes to go this one. Dallas 14, Berwick 7. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLN.
See the winning lineup of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and also quality pre-owned vehicles at Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Berwick. They have a body shop and a full service center servicing all makes and models, and they've been servicing your community for over 30 years. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has earned the highest possible ratings from Chrysler and the prestigious J.D. Power Award for Excellence. Need a truck? Bear has a vast inventory, including 2020 Ram Motor Trend Truck of the Year, or choose one of the 50 new Jeeps in stock. Bear, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Pine Street in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
R.J. Wren with his second touchdown of this game, and Dallas has their first lead, 14-7 over Berwick with 9 minutes remaining. Chapiat will kick it off. Berwick's had a couple of good returns in this second half. Logan Smith from the 11 to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, and out to the 35-yard line. Another good return. But in a high school game, under 9 minutes to go, you wonder how many possessions you're going to have left. The Bulldogs still very much in it, of course, trailing 14-7, but not getting anything going offensively in the second half.
No, not enough. The running game was pretty much stymied. It wasn't getting enough, but they tried passing to open that up, and it opens it up some. The turnover's been a problem. Don't like to have that. Bouncing off of a receiver into R.J. Wren, and that turned the game in this half.
Blake Maurer is back in there as the running back. He gets the call, tries the left side. There is nothing there. He will lose yardage back to the 33.
Yeah, they're working where that quarterback is going to ride the running back off to the left side and fake like he may pull it out. I don't think Dallas fears the running of Matt Lonzinski or feels that they're going to design a play that he's going to do it. He can make some yardage. You got a big first down earlier, but Dallas not really honoring the quarterback run on that type of an option.
Second down and 12, Bulldogs. Slot to the left, wide receiver right. Lonzinski out of the gun. Quarterback draw. He is hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a couple near the 35.
Yeah, worked his way just forward a little bit. I like the design of the call. Dallas reacts well to pass. So you think maybe you can get them over-penetrating and dropping into their zones too quickly. But apparently it wasn't sold well enough. They sent straw and collapsed on it after a yard or two.
Again, that Dallas sideline, in sharp contrast to Berwick, they are energized across the way as they try to stop this 3rd and 10 play. Lonzinski has the snap, back to throw, looking, fires over the middle, and incomplete. Intended for Peyton Williams, too high for him, and almost picked off again.
Yeah, tall receiver, not as deep this time, and the tall quarterback putting it to the tall receiver, hoping he can make the jump. He had to get it over the hands of the defensive lineman. Peyton Williams, again, getting up about as high as he could, just another flick. You worry about someone behind him able to take that away. It was punting.
Andrew Blockus is back to do the punting.
That's strange. Fifth punter, we'll see. Will it get back to him? Yep.
Takes snap, gets the kick away, line drive kick to the far side, and pretty good effort out of bounds at about the Dallas 33-yard line. So that's where the Mountaineers will put it in play, and the pressure really on the Berwick defense now. 7:22 to go. Bulldogs trail it 14-7.
Jimmy, when I coached, I wasn't 5 deep at punter. In fact, I had one time it was 19 players dressed. And same with snapper, and yet Berwick has next man up mentality. Blockus did a really nice job of keeping that away from Ben Fife. You don't want him to get the opportunity to return it. He angled it toward the left and did a wonderful job of it.
First and 10 Mountaineers at their own 33. High formation behind quarterback R.J. Wren, who's under center with a slot to the left side. Wren gives the ball to Armando off the right side. He's got running room. First down and then some over midfield to the Berwick 47-yard line. And right now, that Dallas front, Andy mentioned on their last possession, taking control of this game.
The play was designed to go over to left tackle, but Armando saw it, started over left tackle, immediately broke to the right side, and worked his way pretty much to the Dallas sideline with that run.
19 yards on the carry by Rocco Armando. 1st and 10 Dallas at the Berwick 48. Under 7 minutes to go in the game. Slot to the left. I formation. Wren gives the ball to Gatsby, the fullback. Lots of room for him off the right side. He gets to the 41-yard line.
Pulling the right guard, coming out this side. That was Chase Hector, and he got a little bit of a kick out, more of a stalemate with Spencer Gishbaugh, who played it well, but enough for Gashi to slide inside behind the double team and get 8 yards. Gashi, who was not on my sheet as a running back, well, he had 1 carry for -1, or as a receiver, having a wonderful game.
You could argue, maybe besides Wren, the MVP for Dallas in this game from the 41-yard line. Gashi again lined up as the fullback. The call goes to tailback. Armando, this time Berwick's all over him, and they will push him back. The ball comes loose afterwards. He got maybe a half yard on the play. 3rd down coming.
Armando is quietly having a strong game, Jim. I have him at 90 yards. I've lost count of the carries. He had 16 at half, 17, 18, 19, 20 for 1. 24 for 90. We'll probably finish the 100-yard game. And, you know, there weren't many real long ones in there. Workmanlike, and again, it shows the mindset of Rich Vanello, the head coach. You don't need that many plays. You just need plays that work. And they get successful plays behind the lines blocking and the running of Rocco Armando.
Here we go. 3rd and 3 Dallas at the Berwick 41 with 5:15 to play. Armando gets the call off the right side. The 1st down and then some to the 35 and inside the 30-yard line.
I'm not sure what happened with Berwick, if they were twisting the tackle and end, but Mason Lawbaugh was way inside and not seeing it. They ran outside of him as he crashed. And there was a gaping hole in the C gap that Armando was able to exploit for his 100-yard game.
15 yards on the carry. Now Dallas in control. Any kind of score would just about put it away with Berwick struggling on offense. 14-7 is the Dallas lead. Clock running, 4:47 to go. And the Mountaineers with the ball at the Berwick 26-yard line.
40-second, 25-second clocks are out. So you'll watch the quarterback, R.J. Wren, keep an eye on that back judge. When he raises his hand, then there's 5 seconds left.
Give is to Armando again up the middle. And he's inside the Berwick 20 to the 19-yard line.
When you're winning, the motivation, the adrenaline, you know, this win has a chance of putting them in the playoffs. You're letting that momentum carry you. Berwick's, you know, looking tired, looking a little slow, just not quite as strong at this point.
Tajee Taylor, leading tackler on the team, comes off to the sideline. 2nd down and 3. Dallas at the Berwick 19-yard line, under 4 minutes to play. Slot to the left. Now Wren will operate out of the gun. As the snap, quarterback draw. Looking for room. He has some. He has the 1st down, and then he has a lot more as he gets down near the 10-yard line.
Yeah. Berwick is very strong in defensive end. They come crashing upfield. They kind of left them hump. Quarterback's going to fake the pass with 1 step back, but then take it up the middle, and they're going to use all of their blockers to open that up. It's like Peyton Williams hopping off. Jim, they're going to have to replace him at safety.
Rowan Slabinski will come in for him. They mark the ball at the 11. So it is a 1st and 10 for Dallas at the 11. And now Dallas, while they'd like to get in the end zone, they'd also like to use some clock at the very least.
I think you take the score when you get it in high school.
Or maybe you don't score. A lot of that
Too
going
much
around.
of that last weekend.
Ball at the 11 of Berwick.
Not really in that situation, but you're right. The clock is what matters. However, what you don't want is to have that ball, have an accidental turnover, and have it go the other way. The points make it easier.
From the 6, Armando the call. Stood up and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, that was nice. Linebacker Tristan English was able to step up right into the hole, grab him in a bear hug, and carry him backward. So Playing still with the intensity is Tristan English, just a sophomore at 170 pounds. Playing like a 200-pounder on that play.
Under 3 to go. Clock running 2:40 to be exact. As R.J. Wren went to the sideline to get the play, he trots on. The ball at the 6-yard line. 2nd down and 5. Rocco Armando, the tailback in the eye. He's been the workhorse. Quarterback to him, and R.J. Wren keeps it. Headed toward the end zone off the left side. He gets in, but I think this one is coming back. I see a Dallas player arguing his case, and the flag fell right by him. I think they're going to call a hold. It's an unfortunate play for Dallas because I think Wren was going to get in regardless.
Yes, the hold was backside to the offensive right. Quarterback bootleg to the left, and it was a question of did Spencer Kishbaugh have the angle to get him? But I think his charge was a little too far inside, might have underestimated the speed of R.J. Wren, who hadn't done that much booting. He came to the left. Spencer Kishbaugh dove after him, would have tripped him up, then he pretty much found the lane.
The ball back at the 11-yard line of Berwick. The 2nd down call coming. Again, Wren went to the sideline to get the play. Dallas in no particular hurry. They are in control this one. They lead 14-7. Berwick needs something bizarre to happen, and we do have a full moon, so who knows. Slot to the right eye formation. And that problem on the snap, and R.J. Wren is brought down back at the 18-yard line.
It's not going to be offside. The snapper controls everything. He's the one who moved early with the football. No one else moved, including the quarterback who wasn't expecting it. It dropped to the ground. Berwick had Spencer Kishbaugh coming hard, but he's at the angle and not able to get to the football. Defensive tackles, if they saw it sooner, may have had an opportunity.
I was just about to say that Berwick needs to start using timeouts. They did. We'll keep it here. It's going to be 3rd down and 17. Ball back at the 17.
Boy, that was almost the miracle that Berwick needed. Quarterback not expecting to snap. No one on the team ready to go. Center snaps it early. It drops to the ground pretty much between his legs. The quarterback calmly, because no one else is reacting. Often, you're seeing offensive linemen coming at you, and you're not seeing that. Berwick with no nose guard. They play split tackles on each side of the center, a little wider at guard. A mistake that, with a different look, someone much quicker maybe could have made the miracle happen for Berwick to get possession or knock it away and have the defense chasing after it to pick it up. But rather innocuous as the quarterback's able to get it. He wasn't even aware it was a live play at the time.
And we're going to see Berwick use timeout here, depending on what happens. 1:49 to go. It's 3rd down and goal at the 17-yard line.
On the left hash, wide side of the field to the right. I'd watch for Wren rolling in that direction with the instruction, try to keep it if there's no one wide open. Keep it in bounds. There it is.
He is rolling right. He's looking for Fife. He throws, and he has his man. Fife hit hard inside the 5-yard line, down around the 2 or 3, and they keep the clock running.
I thought he was pushed out of bounds on the tackle, but the field judge right there did see it, and Berwick forced to use the timeout since he's not called out of bounds.
14-7 Dallas. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
1:33 to go in the football game. Dallas leading Berwick 14-7. Following this Bulldog timeout, Dallas 4th and goal at the Berwick 2. They're not going to risk anything happening on a field goal attempt.
I wouldn't either, Chip. If you're not successful on the touchdown, you might even consider quarterback sneak. He's been successful on 3 of them. It's a little longer this time. Too much could go wrong on the field goal.
Here we go from the 2. And Wren tries to hand off, and he runs into his ball carrier, and he's brought down for a loss back around the 9-yard line. So Berwick will get another opportunity.
Spencer Kishbaum met them in the backfield. They wanted to go to the man deep in the eye, but there was a little bit of a collision, not a safe way to hand it off. Spencer Kishbaum could bring the both of them down at that point. Berwick's got a long way to go. They're huddling on the sideline. While the clock is stopped, the play clock is not stopped.
The Bulldogs out on the field. A long way to go, trailing 14-7. The ball at the 5-yard line. Wide receivers either side. Slot to the left, slot to the right. Lenzinski under center, drops back into his end zone to throw, fires incomplete.
Tried to hit Blake Maurer on a quick out, but he hasn't had that much time to work with the receivers, timing off on the out batter. If Maurer caught it, he could have turned it upfield and then taken it out of bounds to stop the clock. Underneath the center with the semi-roll to the right. They don't want to get too deep into the end zone. Risk of safety pretty much would end this game.
Again, Berwick going with the double slot. Lenzinski now out of the gun. Drops back into his end zone to throw. Steps up, looking long down this near sideline, incomplete. Intended for Braden Boone. Terrific coverage in the secondary. Boone actually ended up as the defender, as Armando making the good coverage for Dallas. 3rd and 10, Berwick back at the 5.
Yeah, Dallas has the advantage. You want to take away the deep ball. You're not going to worry about outcuts. You're not going to worry about short passes. If Berwick completes it, come up and make the tackle. But you're not going to let anyone get deep, and there he just refused, to take any type of fake moves and be beaten deep.
3rd down and 10, Berwick. 1:19 to play. Lenzinski in his own end zone. Big pass rush. Steps up. Now he's going to run with it off the left side. Headed toward the sticks. Got very, very close. We'll see where they marked him out.
He worked his way out of bounds, and he could have gotten the sticks. I think he's a half a yard short, Jim. He had the ability to get it, but he's playing in his head. Is it more important to stop the clock getting out of bounds or getting the first down? It's going to set up a 4th and short 2.
And Berwick will now use their final timeout. We'll keep it here with 1:11 remaining. Stay with us after this one. The Indian Lick team will have all the stats from this game, and Raven Klein will bring you updates of scores of other games, including some postseason games that have occurred in some instances tonight.
Surprised by the timeout. I know you want to make sure that you have the right play and you have to convert or the game's over. But the fact that he chose to go out of bounds stops the clock. It's the one advantage you got, even though he didn't get the change that I thought he could have pulled his way to.
Well, maybe you call a couple plays here.
I think you have to. And make sure your personnel's right. Make sure they're fresh enough. All the receivers have been running downfield and back on the last 3 plays. So, there's reasons that coaches have. But it wasn't that the clock needed to be stopped.
Berwick with the ball at their own 13. 1:11 to go. They trail 14-7. 4th down and 2. Lenzinski has the snap. He's going to keep it himself. He has the first down and then some. Into the secondary. Nice effort. Gets out to the 30. Picks up 17 on the play. And the Bulldogs will quickly come to the line of scrimmage.
Scrambled well. Got the nice blocking to open it up. And Dallas in a bit of a prevent.
And Lenzinski will throw it into the ground, stopping the clock with exactly 1 minute to go. So 17 yards on that run by Lenzinski. And now Berwick with a second down, but just a minute to play. They have it at their own 30, trailing by 7.
Lonzinski sold the quarterback draw rather well. Got it in shotgun, took the step back, got everyone backtracking into their defensive zone. Got the blocking he needed out of a fresh offensive line after the timeout. Made a very nice run on that.
Second down. And 10, Berwick at their own 30. Man in motion is Devin Smith. Rolling to his right is Lonzinski. Fires across his body, incomplete. Intended for Peyton Williams at the 42.
Seemed to have lost his grip on that. Focusing on rolling to the right, looking down. And I just think the ball came out of his hand funny, rather low and definitely off target, not with the spiral. The grip. They've been trying to go to Peyton Williams on a lot of patterns in this particular game. Go to the senior veteran as a tight end. He can find the soft spots in the zone. He worked his way open. Maybe he was thinking of not overthrowing him, as we've seen in a couple of instances of this game.
55.9 seconds to go. Berwick, 3rd and 10 at their own 30. Slot to the left, slot to the right. Lonzinski has the snap. Back to throw. Looking long for Peyton Williams. He has a step of the secondary. Makes the catch at the 30. Down to the 25-yard line. Lonzinski, the bomb to Peyton Williams. 47.7 seconds to go. Berwick hurries to the line of scrimmage.
And they'll just throw this one into the ground. 47 seconds, .7. His clock is stopped to move the chains. As soon as they get the whistle to play, he'll ground it, and he did. I think what happened is Peyton Williams has been running that hook pattern so often, finding the soft spot in the zone 15 yards downfield or so, that this time it was the hook and go. And he showed surprising speed to get behind the secondary. Ball thrown really well up in the air. He runs under it. Might have had to just ease up that little bit. You don't want to overthrow that ball and allow the secondary to catch up to him. How long on that catch?
45 yards on the catch. Berwick at the Dallas 25-yard line. 44 seconds to go. Lonzinski has the snap, fires to the sideline, has the completion to Peyton Williams. He needs to get out of bounds, and he does so around the 16-yard line. 39 seconds to go.
Again, we've been noticing that there's been some chemistry with the tight end. It's an easier throw for the young quarterback. Peyton Williams, after going on the hook and go deep downfield, now goes down, breaks off the route to the sideline. You get yardage, and you get the clock stopped.
And you get a first down at the 15-yard line. Berwick trailing 14-7, 39 seconds to play at the Dallas 15-yard line. Lonzinski out of the gun. Dallas showing blitz. Matt Lonzinski gets away from a would-be sacker, throws it to the sideline, incomplete. Good play by him.
Yeah, he realized he had no chance. The coverage was on his two receivers on the left side. He's flushed in that direction. If he runs, he may be caught before he reaches the sideline as linebackers had angle. Did a good job to avoid the rush from the down defensive end and get wide, but then a smart play to throw it away and stop the clock.
Second down and 10. Berwick at the Dallas 15-yard line. 32.5 seconds to play. Bulldogs trailing by 7. No timeouts left. Slot to the right, slot to the left. Lonzinski out of the gun. Has the snap. Fires over the middle. The ball is intercepted at the 5-yard line. Went by his man and a diving interception at the 5 with 28 seconds to play.
Peyton Williams was going to be the target again. He's around the 5-yard line. Instead of veering out toward the sideline, he veers toward the end zone, toward the post. I'm not sure if it was a read that they read each other wrong. In any case, the ball stays to the outside, drilled hard and low. Ben Fife, though, the best hands on the Dallas team, in position. Take that one away. You should probably see the victory formation now from Dallas.
What an improbable drive by Berwick. They looked dead in the water, and then Lonzinski with the long pass play to Peyton Williams gave him a chance, but Fife ends that chance. There is the kneel down. Dallas celebrating across the way. They needed this win to get into the playoffs, and they got it. But it did not come easy as the Bulldogs tried their darndest and come up short. The final is Dallas 14 and Berwick 7. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLN.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative EP Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
In high school football tonight, a final. Central Columbia wins over Bloomsburg 13-7. In District 4 AA semifinals, a final. Southern Columbia beats Line Mountain 49-7. In the fourth quarter, South Williamsport is leading Troy 35-18. In District 4 Quad A semifinals, a final. Shamokin wins over Selinsgrove 15-0. In District 4 and 6A final. In the fourth quarter, Altoona leads Williamsport 29-14. In District 2 to 6A finals. In the fourth quarter, Delaware Valley leads Hazleton Area 48-23. In the fourth quarter, Lewisburg leads Hughesville 21-0. And a final, Milton wins over Warrior Run 20-0. In other announcements, in the District 4 Quad A semifinals, Mifflinburg at Jersey Shore game has been moved to Saturday at 7 p.m. For HLM Sports, I'm Raymond Klein.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
In the end zone to our left, the Mountaineers of Dallas celebrating a big win at Crescent Field here. Their fourth consecutive win over the Bulldogs in this series did not come easy. The final, Dallas 14 and Berwick 7. Dallas started this game with a drive off the opening kickoff that reached the Berwick 28-yard line, but on a 3rd and 13, R.J. Wren's pass was picked off by Peyton Williams, stopping the Dallas threat. Later in that opening quarter, there was a bad snap and a punt attempt by Dallas. The Dallas punter alertly picked it up, almost picked up the first down, but came up short. Berwick took over at the Dallas 40-yard line. That started them on a scoring drive that concluded with 10:48 to go in the second on a 6-yard run by senior Blake Maurer. Big play on that 5-play drive for Berwick was a 30-yard pass completion from Matt Lazinski, the sophomore, with his first start of his career, to Braden Boone, went up high with the defender draped over him to make the grab. Brendan Hinkle kicked the extra point. Berwick had a lead of 7-0. Dallas countered with a 13-play drive, but a 32-yard field goal came up well short. There was another chance for Berwick late in that second quarter when Dallas's line drive punt was muffed by the Bulldogs. Would have given Berwick the ball at the Dallas 43 with time left, but couldn't get it going. But Tristan English intercepted a Dallas pass, stopping any threat by them. And Berwick had the lead at the half by a score of 7-0. But Dallas came up big on their first possession, a 6-play, 65-yard drive, a huge play along the way, a personal foul against Berwick that extended that drive. There was also a 20-yard pass completion from R.J. Wren to his fullback Nick Gashi, and Wren went in from the 1-yard line for the score. Jace Chapia kicked the extra point. That was all the scoring in the third quarter, as it was tied 7-7 going into the fourth. But in that fourth, R.J. Wren, playing the secondary for Dallas, intercepted. A Matt Lazinski pass returned to the Berwick 30-yard line. 6 plays later, it was Wren who finished the drive with a 1-yard score. Jace Chopiak with the extra point. exactly 9 minutes to go, and Dallas had their first lead at 14-7. Looked like Dallas would get the clinching score when they drove to the Berwick 2-yard line. They were stopped short with 1:29 to go back at the 5. And Berwick, in desperation with no timeouts remaining, needed a big play. They got one. A 45-yard pass completion from Matt Lunzinski to Peyton Williams. Altogether, Berwick, starting at their 5, got all the way to the Dallas 15-yard line. They faced a second down with 32 seconds to go. The pass by Lunzinski to the 5-yard line was low. Ben Fife made a diving interception for Dallas, and that clinches the game for the Mountaineers as they win this one after running out the clock by a final score of 14-7. So Dallas celebrating the victory at Crispin Field, also celebrating the fact that they've advanced into the district playoffs. They will play in the championship game next week against Crestwood. Crestwood unbeaten going into their game tomorrow afternoon against unbeaten Lake Lehman. 14-7 Dallas over Berwick. Stats in tonight's game.
In total offense, Jim, 233 yards for Dallas, 190 for Berwick. I think one odd factor are the interceptions in the game. Berwick managed to intercept 2 off of outstanding quarterback R.J. Wren in the first half. He had only thrown 3 all season. And Matt Lunzinski, he runs into tough luck. He bounces them off people's hands sometimes. Then the last one, I think he and the receiver were looking differently. 2 interceptions, and those were both in the second half, which makes it tough. But bright spots for Berwick, bright spots for Dallas, who looks toward a playoff. Looking at the running game, 169 yards for Dallas, 64 yards in the air. Rocco Armando, very businesslike. Took him a lot of carries, 27 carries, but 112 yards in that running game, and a lot of ball grinding it out, a lot of time off the clock, a possession game in what they expected to be a close game, and Rocco Armando did a nice job and played strong defense as well. We weren't expecting to see Nicholas Gashi on offense. He's played linebacker through the year, but had only 1 carry otherwise for -1 yard and no catches. Here in this game, he becomes a tremendous blocking fullback, very visible, and he carries 3 times for 19 yards, adding his 3 catches for a total of 33, and he's a promising young individual, Nicholas Gashi. R.J. Wren, the quarterback, running the ball, 11 carries for 38 yards. He and his center, a master of the quarterback sneak, Lucas Schultz, would take that little goose and push from him, and he'd be successful on 3 critical situations in the course of the game. Rollout quarterback, able to throw on the run, did so effectively, limited his runs, but limited any type of sacks and loss as well. 11 carries for 38 yards. Passing, R.J. Wren was 7 of 18, so Berwick holds him comfortably under 50%. Forced 2 interceptions in the first half when he was only 2 completes in 9 attempts. But he amasses 64 yards. His key receiver is Ben Fife. He's a good one. We saw him on returns. We saw him defensively with the interception that capped the game for his team. As a receiver, he has 4 catches for 31 yards in this one, and often at critical times. Again, the surprise receiver was Nick Gashi, the fullback, often rolling with his quarterback and then sliding into the flat. He had a 20-yarder among his 3 receptions for a total of 33 yards. So for Dallas, 64 yards in the air, 169 on the ground, a total of 233. Berwick doesn't match it, but they do put up 190 yards. 67 on the ground, and catch this number. For a team that averaged 70 yards passing over the course of the season, first-time starting quarterback Matt Lunzinski posts 128 yards in the passing game. Looking at the runners in the first half, it was all Blake Cleaver. He had all 12 carries for 29 yards. He finishes with 17 for 42. Logan Smith exploded on a fine run, but fumbled it backwards, so 6 yards on that run. And then it is Matt Lunzinski. not known for his running, not swift of foot, but he is powerful. He had some tough decisions whether to run it out of bounds or get the chains, but when he didn't get it out of bounds, he makes the play with a 17-yard run to follow on a quarterback draw. He finishes with 4 runs for 17 yards, and I don't have him as being sacked. So 4 for, make that 19 for the quarterback, Matt Lonzinski. Passing, 9 of 14 by my tally. Very strong, considering he hasn't had that much time to work and get chemistry with the receivers. 2 interceptions in the second half, 1 off the hands of a receiver, 1 in desperation time at the very end of the game, with 128 yards in the air. Braden Boone, Jim, you highlighted his 30-yard reception, add 2 more for a total of 15 there. 3 catches for 45 yards. Very reliable individual to throw the ball to. Devin Smith caught 2, total of 10 yards, a nice duck-under move when they needed a first down from him. And Peyton Williams, coming on back after a month out of uniform. He had 2 catches on the season for 21 here in this game, make it 4 catches for 68 yards. Good to give a tight end as your main target for the quarterback in his first start. Peyton Williams paid dividends for him, not just with the control passes, but the big one deep downfield when no one should have been fooled. He puts the double move on, gets behind people, and catches 1 for 45. Give him 68 on the game. 128, trying to check my handwriting here, in the air, 67 on the ground, total of 190. That doesn't add up. 123 in the air, 190 for the Bulldogs. Jim, a tough loss and a crazy season. But I like the spirit of this Berwick team. I like the way that the players who were out there faced adversity. I like the spunk that I saw. I like that sophomores weren't afraid to go head-to-head with other varsity players on some very strong teams. I like players adjusting to new positions and doing what you have to do to be able to field a team in these circumstances. And I feel that they're going to grow. Yes, they'll miss the seniors. You always miss your seniors, and there's a melancholy moment when it's their last game. But I think the future is bright for this Berwick 4 that will be returning.
I like the right arm of Matt Lonzinski.
I love it. I love it. And the improved offensive line and protection. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Benny Knorr coming back. What do you do with that speed and running ability? And a lot of guys coming back.
Yeah, I would
Trey
say
Wills.
if I'm looking at what's coming back, I'd say the concern for Berwick going into next season will be the offensive line, because tonight, for instance, 4 seniors and 1 junior started. Now, they do have the returner in Sander Unger, and remember, Bruce Hartman's out with an injury. He started several games at center. They really like him. So you take those 2 and get something from a
seat sometime. But yeah, some guys maybe who are looking at one way. You start looking at what happens if a Travis Spencer puts on a little bit more weight. Where can you use him? Travis Kishbaugh. I'm sorry, Spencer Kishbaugh. I really got that wrong. That's the full moon, Jimmy, and what a full moon it is in a full moon season.
Andy, unfortunately, we weren't here at Crispin Field very often, just getting comfortable here. Just the second game as Berwick's, the 2 games that they had canceled this year were both scheduled for Crispin Field. So tough way to end a tough season. Nothing went right from the first scrimmage. Finished with a good effort, and hopefully we'll be back here for a full schedule next season.
Yeah, and with a chip on their shoulder. Coaching staff will look at everything they can do, and these players will look at, let's do it, and let's step it up. We're the big-time varsity now for the underclassmen.
With the victory, Dallas improves to 4-3. They will advance to the District 2 Quad A championship game. That will be played against Crestwood next weekend. For Berwick, they fall to 1-5. That is the end of the season for them, the first losing season for the program since 2006. Again, that final here tonight is Berwick losing to Dallas by a score of 14-7. Brandy Ulickney and our producer Raven Klein. This is Jim Doyle reminding you heard it live on Sports Radio HLM.
You've been listening to Berwick Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. Forge Pub and Eatery, West 11th Street in Berwick. Bear Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Berwick. Berwick Dental Arts, quality care for your dental health. Berwick Notary Center, Orange Street in Berwick. Mason's Monogram Services for all your Bulldog merchandise. The Medicine Shop, East 9th Street in Berwick. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. First Keystone Community Bank, yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick for all your home improvements. Yannick Real Estate, commercial and residential. The Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Shikshini. Your Berwick State Farm agents Lori Powell, Sean Black, and Melissa Price. Hometown agents who understand Berwick's needs. Riverview Block Inc. of Berwick. Alexander Family Dealership, Central Road off Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Access Gymnastics Academy, East 7th Street in Bloomsburg. Romeo's Italian Submarines and Sasser Sweet Stop, 1306 Orange Street, Berwick. Independence Ford, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling, veteran and military family owned and operated. Tri-County Lumber, South Poplar Street in Berwick. Welch's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. Jeffrey McKinnon, Financial Advisor with Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street in Bloomsburg. And by Brookdale Senior Living, 420 Schaefer Road in Bloomsburg. HLM is the Valley Sports Leader.